All right. Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey,
Welcome to another remote session of the Role Players.
Happy Monday.
How's everybody
Chad.
doing tonight?
Oh, buddy. I don't even know what day of the week it is, but
I'm-
it's all the same.
Earlier today, I thought it was Thursday, but apparently it's Monday.
Yeah.
That's funny because I was just about to say it's Sunday, but yes,
Well, there you go.
When are we just going to stop even calling the days anything?
I think
Yeah.
so.
I mean, do we
Yeah.
really need
Day.
that anymore?
It's the next day. Another day.
Do we need to live by the calendar? No.
I took a shower today. That was a really good thing. So,
Excellent.
there's a little tip for you on quarantine. But anyway, guys, welcome to another episode of the Role Players. We're so excited to have you with us as we play some Dungeons and Dragons, now remotely through the interwebs. I am your Dungeon Master, Judd, and these are my wonderful players. Everyone, say hi.
Hey.
All right. Well, Chad, I did forget to tell you, I know that the mic doesn't pick up the guitar very well, but we need our intro.
I can make arrangements for this.
Okay, cool.
Give me one sec.
While he's grabbing the guitar, let's see. We have just a couple announcements. We are still waiting to finalize something on the big giveaway. I know we've been talking about it for a couple weeks, but with the coronavirus delay and all the chaos that has caused all of us, we're running a little bit behind on that. We're also maybe pivoting a couple of the things that we were going to include. So we have some better items for those of you stuck at home that might benefit from things like a little bit more D&D Beyond, more online tools, etc. In addition, we just shot a little tips of how to play Dungeons and Dragons online, and we're going to be dropping that on our YouTube channel tomorrow or Wednesday. So if you haven't checked us out on YouTube, head over there. We're the Role Players with an S. And we would love for you guys to subscribe. And once we get to 100, we get our full channel name. And I think we're only like 50 away from that. So we'd really appreciate that. And all of our previous episodes are up there and they're all synced and everything's nice and lovely. So anybody have any other announcements? No? Oh, I do have one other. We are still working with Tabletop Loot, one of our favorite people out there. To get dice to school kids, which is our thing. Every new follower equals dice to school kids. However, all schools are out of session right now. Everybody's doing it remotely. So we're trying to figure out what else we can do to help people at this time. So stay tuned on that.
Right on.
All right, dude.
Well, sing this old
ready
tune
to-
along with me if you know it.
Bring it in.
Ooh, sounds good.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Does it sound good? I listened. It sounded like I had a weird guitar effect on it, like it was distorted somehow. But I swear that's not the case. Anyway,
It's like a watery sound. All
it
right.
started on a ship brought together by a storm. Please travel through the rift to a new world beyond. We were thrown into shackles. We were hunted down by thieves. But we'll never let it stop us from saving a black Raleigh. For we are
Quarantined.
yeah. All right. That's
All
I
right.
got.
Well, thank you, Chad.
No problem.
Well, thank you, Otto. Otmar, third of your name.
Third of his name.
So, wow, I've been so excited to play some D&D. I've really missed this. All right, so let's dive back in to last week's episode where all of you managed to safely get away from Smatrel Hoffin's house after swapping out his statue with a fake. A statue which seems to have some sort of magical property and which Otto identified as some sort of a key. And making your way back to your residential spa house, you met up with Sval in disguise, who ushered you inside and realized that the job ended up being a lot more difficult than even she expected. And there's something, it seems, sinister and dangerous about this Smatrel character. As you all took time to kind of lick your wounds and discuss what happened and decipher some of the messages and intel that both Tabitha and Seville managed to get at the house, you were all getting ready to have a long rest, which I feel is like only your second for the entire campaign.
Yeah.
That checks out.
Literally. It literally is.
I think it's like second or third. You've not had a lot. So sorry, hold on.
So wait, does that mean we?
We did get a long rest, or we
No.
did not?
So,
Look at that evil laugh. I know.
175
Come
sessions. Maybe
relax,
fool.
relax. What could happen? All right.
Exactly.
Once every 5 sessions, you get teased with the hope of a long rest that won't happen.
Right.
So, as you all retire to your rooms, feeling that ever so sweet impending relief of much earned sleep after such a long, long day, you sink down into your luxurious bedding, and all of you drift to sleep so quickly. And
Meditation.
those elves
Elves are in
among
rhythm.
you, yes, may have passed over the bedding to, or you could be in a meditative pose, either horizontal or full elven on your knees or whatever you're doing. But EnnaZora, as you in particular slow your mind down into that deep meditation, you picture the vivid green nature of your home Feywild, something that really comforts you and allows you to slow, rest, and heal. The imagery bringing a breath of comfort and familiarity as you escape the alien lands of Anacroli, if but for a few hours. But suddenly, threads of gold start weaving their way into your mind's eye, changing the glowing verdant of the Feywild to a brilliant golden landscape. You see a vast area all in shades of glowing gold, 1,000-foot-high waterfalls, impossibly tall mountains, endless forests, shining clouds floating in the sky. On the edge of your conscious mind, you perceive that your hand is out and you're holding that tiny little golden tree in your palm. And it's now glowing beautifully, bright, bathing your entire room in this golden light. But realizing you're not in control of your own images, you start to pull your mind away to return to full consciousness when a voice drifts out of this vista.
What do I feel, and then what did I?
You started to pull yourself back to full consciousness to see what was happening with this tree. As you
Could I try to go further into this?
Absolutely.
I want to try to lean into it as opposed to pull away.
Excellent. You hear soft words coming over you. The language sounds completely unfamiliar, but the echoes of the words, you can faintly distinguish Elvish in your mind. Na vedui, av asoto, reta. At last, don't be afraid. Help. The voice drifts down on you like a warm blanket, and you feel your apprehension melting away. Pedithum hi sui velum, which you know means, may we speak as friends.
Why, yes, of course. If you're my friend.
I know you.
Are you the
are
tree?
familiar.
Are you the tree?
I am forever,
Forever.
ever, forever. And you hear the voice
That's
starts
not me. Who
to
are you?
strain as if it's having trouble maintaining this connection. Help. I need help. The land. This land stolen. Heart gone.
Wait. I don't know how to help if I don't know who you are or where you are.
I am with you and near you. I am that which grows golden forever.
That's a bit cryptic.
Return anacrally. Soul's home. And roll a religion check for me.
Okay.
Gotta love when that religion skill comes into play. Possibly the
It's very
least
particular.
used- possibly the least used of all skills.
Yeah, I have a -1 in it.
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah, because your girl is not religious. Okay, let's see. 11.
11? These words don't seem to have much meaning to you, but you remember the tree. You remember the tree calling itself forever. The big tree that you met. And there's something of emotion being transferred to you. You feel a similar loss of your Feywild in this presence that's reaching out to you. And a similar power that you feel when you're in the Feywild. And you feel this presence is slipping away from you. And this word rings out, Retta, Retta, over and over. Help, help.
Am I supposed to go back to you as the tree?
And
Trying to chop you down?
you suddenly, you're in your room and the presence and the feeling is gone. Your hand is out and holding the little tree, but it's no longer glowing.
Excuse me, sir. You were very confusing. I don't know what to do with that. Well, back to sleep. What a weird dream.
What a weird dream, is that what you said?
That's a strange one. And as EnnaZora shrugs off this interesting encounter, we move over to Arisette. This time you're sitting up in your meditation, unnerved by the bad dream that you had before in front of everybody, of letting yourself almost sleep horizontal like a human. And as your mind slows, you practice your focus on your inner being as you feel, after some time, about an hour into your meditation, you feel a sudden icy cold grip grab your heart. Can you roll a con save for me?
Oh my God.
I love it. Rolls during dreams. I dig it.
Yeah, I love dream sequences.
Got a 12 plus 14.
14.
Yeah.
You try to open your eyes, but you can't. And yet you can see your room before you, except it now seems like it's made of shadows. And as if an explosion of wind erupts in the room, the shadows are dispersed like ash in the air. And the scene before you is worse than you could have imagined. You see fire, death, pain, loss. It's as if you're being pulled backwards through space. You see Anacrally burning with a black, consuming fire. Souls are scattered like the shadows of your room. The wails of the despair break your soul and fuel the flames. You pull back more. You see Faerun now. You see your home perishing. Then you see all of the material plane as you pull further back. And then suddenly a blinding light as you cross into a new realm. One of clouds and crystalline castles, golden rays of light before the fire erupts, consumes, corrupts, and extinguishes the light, casting you into darkness. Permanent and malevolent darkness. And you feel in your heart that icy grip of something. You cannot stop. And like that, it's over. Your eyes snap open. Your room is in darkness, but as you left it.
And I scream. I scream as loud as I possibly can. I scream.
Okay. Well,
Okay, so
do I hear?
I would imagine I might wake up.
I think you would probably all wake up and you hear running footsteps and the door is flung open and you see Elas standing in your doorway and she's holding her hand with this glowing fire spinning around, looking. Are you okay? What's going on?
What is it?
Do I need to get help? What's going on?
Oh, I'm scared. Oh, she's having a baby.
No.
All you
We
ever
must-
want to do is go to sleep, and then you finally get to go.
Maddie,
We
we're
have to
losing
do
you again.
something.
Every time she tries to sleep, somebody freezes her.
I know. I did a freeze override because she's criticizing the long sleep.
And just to be clear, it said, do not stop. Is that what that scary voice said?
Correct. No, you cannot stop.
You cannot stop. Oh.
Could I go to appear in the doorway, sort of groggily, see what's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. So after a moment, you see Elas standing there, a bit bleary-eyed too, and holding a spell in her hand as you just see this fire dancing around her palm, frantically looking around, trying to ascertain what the problem is, as Arisette is sitting there in her meditative pose, reeling from what she just saw.
What is it? What happens? Are you all right?
It's the evil. The evil is coming even closer. We can't stop right now. We must go. We must go right away. We must do something right now. Right now.
I sort of put two and two together and I'm like, another one of your visions.
Yes, but worse than ever. Worse than ever before. I'm scared for the very world, the very existence we know.
Did you see something specific? If so, what did you see?
I saw the destruction of anything you've ever known, anything you've ever loved, anything you've ever hoped is gone. If we do nothing, if we don't go right now and find the source of this evil, we have no time. None.
Let me get the others, and I go and wake everyone up to like have a meeting. Clearly, we need to.
And I just start getting my things together and just grabbing everything, grabbing my bow, grabbing my knives.
Are you sure that we can? Are you sure we can't just leave in the morning? We haven't had a chance to rest.
Do an intelligence check for me, Arisette. Just as a roll, D20 roll with your intelligence modifier.
I got a 15.
So as the vision of this nightmare starts to fade, you realize that, you start to realize that, you know, whatever this vision was, you're safe at the moment. And if you do go out in the middle of the night, you will become extremely exhausted and less effective. The choice is yours. What would you like to do?
Are you sure we can't? This can't wait until the morning.
I just. Otto, I can't explain how frightening how frightening and visceral these visions are. They're not dreams. They're not anxieties. They're prophecies. They're visions of what will happen unless we do something. They're signs of what's coming.
All right, listen, I believe you. I do. But we need to have our level heads. We need to rest. It'll give you time to make sense of what this means, and it will give us a chance to fight this thing successfully.
Do you require anything else? And you see Elas extinguishes the fire that was in her palm.
What were you doing? What was that?
I'm on guard. That's my orders by Sval, is to watch out over all of you tonight.
What does that fire do?
It could be quite harmful if I cast it forward against any opponents.
So you're watching us. You're
I'm
keeping
your
us safe.
protection. Yes. Are
And
you going tonight? Should I let Sval know?
No. But I need something. Please, do you have a sleeping potion of some sort? Something.
Indeed, I do. I'll be right back. And she skirts past Otto and back down the hall.
Otto, I can't stay alone tonight. Should I see Tabitha? What should I do? I can't stand it alone right now.
I mean, you're welcome to try to sleep with me, but if you wake up screaming, you're going to have to go to someone else because I'm trying to rest.
I understand. The tonic should help.
We can hope. Okay, good night.
And a few moments later, Elas returns with a silver goblet, and it's got a brownish liquid that doesn't look very appetizing, but when you drink it, it has a really soft herbal kind of feel. And literally moments after you feel it going down, you feel yourself getting groggy and ready to return to your meditative state.
Okay. And I go into Tabitha's room quietly, and I lay down my swords again, and I go back to my
great.
state.
What are the rest of you doing? Going back to
I've
bed?
got my door propped open about that much, and I'm just watching everything. And I see Arisette walk off and go into Tabitha's room. And as soon as Otto walks by me, or I don't know where he is.
Yeah, I'm right there.
Okay. Otto, can I have a word with you?
Yes, of course. I go into your room.
Okay. Have a seat, stand, it's okay. I have to ask you something.
Yeah, I sit down.
Now, I'll say a few things. If they're wrong, then you can correct me. But I've been watching you since you got here, and I've put together two things about you.
Do we have to do this right now, Sidel?
It'll be quick, and I think it's on top of all that screaming. I'd rather do it now than in front of the group.
You know, your damsel in distress is quite distressed.
I heard. I heard.
It's not much for seizing the opportunity, right? Like, she totally put that out there, and he was like,
All right, you oaf. What is it?
So listen, two things about you. One, you're a gentleman, and gentlemen have some rules and codes. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, it's what makes you think that you're better than those lower than you in station. That's one. And two, you're a very prideful man, boastful, charming, yes. And the reason why I bring these two factors
Have you
up
come to
is,
challenge me to a duel? What is the meaning of this?
no, I've come to ask you why you lied when you identified and looked over that idol. Why'd you lie to us?
What are you talking about? I haven't told you any lies.
Of course you have. And here's why I think you have. One is whenever you identify something for us, you take great pride in it. In fact, you tell us everything about that article, head to toe, and you're proud of it. Then, after you've taken the knife and have described that, you came to the idol and you were very vague, stopping, starting, hardly remembering stuff. So I paid attention to it, and I don't want to bring it up in front of the group because I don't want to embarrass you if something's going on with you, because I've noticed some changes in you. And so, man to man here, I'd like to know, why did you tell us a lie?
Look, I told you what I knew. It was vague because the magic of it is quite complex, and I, as a humble man, will admit that it is perhaps beyond my full understanding. I told you what I could make of it, Seville. Now, what
Right.
reason would I have to lie? Tell me. Why would
That's
I?
what I'm trying to understand. And can I insight check him? All right.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, go for it.
All right. 21.
Does he believe you? I mean, are you telling the truth?
I am. I am. I mean, it's just funny. We're at a crossroads of like game terms and role play. The information that I received, the best that I understood it, I tried to explain it. I seem genuine, I would imagine.
All right.
And I
Then.
say, listen, I think what's going on here is you don't trust me. Is this really about the magical artifacts? Or is there something else that's bothering you? Because, look, I know we may not have started off as best mates, but I've grown to respect you. We've put each other's lives in the other's hands. We've saved one another. Why don't you trust me, Seville?
This is a question for you. Is why don't you trust us with this information here?
Look, I don't know any other way to convince you. I've leveled with you. I've tried to tell you what I told you about that artifact was that it is some sort of key. How it fits into what mechanism, so to speak, not necessarily one physical, mind you. I don't know.
All right, then. I'm
Yeah,
just
Seville,
looking
you
out for
get
you.
the
I've seen some
sense-
changes there, so that's
You get
all.
the sense that Otto is telling you the truth from his perspective.
All right. Look, I'm just looking out for you. I'm not interrogating you on my behalf. It's more for yours. I've just seen some changes, especially in the cave, where you knifed that man in the back of the throat, and just some other things. So,
Well, I've probably saved more lives, really. Who knows how many would have fell by that terrible criminal's blade. Really, I've done society at large a service.
well, we'll agree to disagree, but I trust you, Otto, and I'm only asking you this because I'm looking out for you. That's all.
Well, I appreciate that. Oh, and by the way, the dagger. I hope you
Yes.
don't mind. I gave it to Tabitha. I figured it was a small thanks for her, sort of nearly dying.
Yes, I mean, her and I had a deal when I found it, but I'll talk to her about it. If I told her I'd give her my share of the gold in the house for it, if she didn't mind, she agreed. But
Oh, well, then it sounds like you two will have it all sorted.
yeah,
Anyway, I am
we'll talk
just
about it.
knackered. I think I
Go to
will
sleep.
bid you adieu, and I'll see you in the morning.
We'll see you bright in the morning.
Good night, Seville.
Good night, Otto.
And with
I go
that,
back
you
to my
see Otto make his way back to his room. Seville, you lower yourself down into your meditative pose. Otto, anything you want to do before going to bed? Or are you just crashing?
So, help me remember, last time there was a vision that I saw that coincided with identifying the magical artifacts. Is that right? It was of an entity,
Correct.
and I didn't know what the entity was.
No. Though you did, I believe, if I remember correctly, you described it to the others, or you started to talk about it, and they started to tell you about a similar entity that they encountered
Okay.
at an area where a city or a small little kind of town appeared, and there was a monolithic stone with a spiral on it, of which
Yeah.
a ghostly entity came out. Sounds very similar to what you experienced.
Yes, and it's coming back to me a bit more now. I think I'm just sort of sitting. I sit at my desk inside the, or maybe on the edge of the bed, and I'm just sort of thinking. And I know I wouldn't be able to sleep now anyway. I'm trying to gather my thoughts on a few things, and so yeah, I'm thinking back on all of that for a moment.
Okay.
And if I remember right, I think we had reached the conclusion that if we suspected this key that we have in our possession could be used at one of these monoliths, we already know where one of them is, and we might consider going back to that one as a potential next move. Does that sound right to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, yeah, I
Yeah.
mull it over, I think for a little bit, and maybe I also in my unrest before I finally get back into a sleepy mode after these couple of intrusions here, I feel the unnerving presence of this otherworldly entity. I maybe glance over at my journal and have like a little standoff like moment of truth where I feel this unnatural pull to surrender a bit more to it, to dive deeper into its text, to learn more of its spells, but I'm just so exhausted I go to sleep.
Yeah, when you were sitting there thinking, out of the corner of your eye, you kept feeling like you were seeing this kind of wispy, smoky movement. And you'd look over and you just see that book sitting there.
Yeah.
And it's just playing on the edge of your perception.
Mm-hmm.
But it's familiar now as you decide to drift off to sleep.
I just sort of under my breath, I'm like, not this time. And then go to sleep.
All right, and with that, everyone is asleep.
Yay.
The elves among you, after 4 hours, feel rested enough to come to, although I think perhaps a little extra time this day, given how long you've been awake and everything that you've been through. You perhaps stay a little bit longer in meditation, but you certainly come out well before the non-elves of your party as they sleep off their long rest. If you don't want to do anything, we can jump ahead to morning.
Does that mean we get a long rest?
Well, you elves can now click off a long rest.
Woo.
Are you going to wait for the others? Or are you going to do anything in the interim?
Just gonna
I want to make a. Go ahead. Go ahead.
sit with my little gold tree.
Sorry, you what?
Just gonna sit with my little gold tree and chill.
Awesome. Okay.
I'm going to deliberately set a meditative, conscious intention for what I want to rewrite as the future. I'm going to literally spend extra time meditating and envisioning that crystalline world that was above the skies and the clouds, getting more and more powerful, glowing more and more and more brightly until it's so powerful from within that the crystals of all the buildings above the clouds just shatter almost with power. And I set a sort of determination within myself that I will find whatever this is.
Cool. All right, Seville, you were starting to say something?
I want to contact the Larar and report in.
So you look down at your arm, touching the tattoo, which magically starts to glow and raises off the skin, spinning with these runic symbols. And a moment later, you hear a slightly groggy voice of Larar Rena, the head of the Edgeguard. Yes, Seville, report. What do you have?
Meo Gavanen. I'm reporting in on what's happening in the City of Coins. We took a job from Sval, entered into a house of one of the members, found a strange artifact. Very strange. Every time you look at it, it seems to be changing shape, changing figures. I don't know. I haven't seen if they were gods or something like that. But
do you think it has anything to do with the necromancers?
I'm not sure. We also found a letter from the commander, Nuvian. It was in code.
What did it say?
And it was saying something about, help me out here, Judd. I'm confusing the letters between.
Yeah, no, it basically sounded like there was some tracking of Smatrel, and I have to remember now.
Don't worry, guys. I'll help you out with my notes.
Yeah. What you got?
Nothing. It's literally water stains on it. We don't know.
Wait, was the letter that Tabby had is the different? That was the coded love letter.
That's different. That was Smatrel to some unknown force, but there was something
I have that.
In the captain's letter that seemed like he was tracking Smatrel, and that there was something about an archmage.
Okay, yes, he was tied to an archmage. Yes. So we have that from the commander, and there was another note that was written, a love letter of sorts, but when we decoded it, we found out that Smatrel, one of the inner circle, has been requesting gold from Isley and the dwarven cities south of Isley. There was a mention of an archmage. I don't know if that's connected to the necromancer or not, but there could be a connection there.
Interesting.
And I don't know why he's bringing in gold.
We don't have a lot of intel on this Smatrel Huffin. I know he's new to Vorden. I know that Sval's been working and gathering information there. But we will assign some people to look into it. The only archmage, at least in a nefarious means that I can think of, would be, well, I mean, there's always the legendary Fels Nadras, but that's outside of our territory, so we don't really deal with it much. We'll look into it. It's good reporting. I'll keep you posted if I find anything else.
All right, there's another thing too. I know you mentioned that after we find out who is involved in trying to overthrow the kingdom, that you'd have a boat ready for these folk to go back home.
Yes.
Well, we had a discussion. One of them would really like to go back home. And well, I've got to tell you, if everybody is not in on this, I'm not sure I can do this alone. But if I were in their shoes and they wanted to go back home, I just want to request that you honor that now. I promise I'll get this done if I have to recruit some others or ask you for help for other Edgeguard. But I want to be fair to them. If I was away from my family, which I have been for 15 years from training, but I'm different than them. I'm used to being by myself.
Yes, I know they're not soldiers. Look, my offer was sincere. If they are no longer the correct teammates for you, then absolutely we will honor our deal and send them back.
Well, I think they can be. I want to have a talk with them. I like them. And I just want to know if they're all on board. But I also want to advocate for them if they're not on board, that you will send them home. Well,
Seville, I need to tell you that you need to figure that out, and you need to figure it out quickly. I don't
We're
know
gonna
what
have a
sort of
discussion.
timeline we're up against, but I imagine it's a short one.
Well,
So
we're going to have a quick discussion, and I'll ascertain if they're in or not. But you'll send them home if they're not. Yeah.
I will let them know. I'd rather know if they're on board or not. If not,
All right.
we'll send them home and we'll find new teammates for you. I know you've always longed for your own unit, so I'll see what can be done.
I appreciate that, and sorry to disturb you in the night. One more question for you. Do you know who Erun is?
Erun?
Yeah.
Well, one moment.
When we were down in the sewers, poking around in the Sum Rocks layer, we found some platinum bars that were said to go to Erun. I don't know if it was an offering, if this fellow is or woman is a figure that you might know, but tied into the Sum Rock.
Yes, I had to check my notes. I do know that name. It is a contact in Asley, somebody part of the underground there. A bit of a nefarious figure, potential rising politician. You found a note to go to
No,
Asley?
we found, now that you tell me he's a politician, we found bribe money. I think 6 bars of platinum bars. So the Sum Rock have already infiltrated that, it seems.
Well, this is disturbing.
And I told you about a mole, right?
A mole?
A mole has murdered all the heads of the 4 factions except for the head of the Akira, which I have asked.
Yes, you've reported
Sval.
that to me,
Yes.
and I've been in discussion with Sval about that as well.
Good. All right. I'll let you know if they need to go home or not. I'm hoping not, but thanks for honoring that. They'll be happy to hear that at least.
We stand by our word at the Edge God.
That you do.
I'm choking to death. Okay.
Are
Please
you
don't.
okay?
Yeah,
we
I'm
better
like, I
end
don't know,
this
I have like something caught in my
conversation
throat. I'm
before,
trying to do it off screen.
But it's
Unmute
definitely not.
yourself and have at it.
Coronavirus. No.
Yeah.
All right. So, and with that, you feel her, you see the token actually recede and disappear.
All right. I'm finishing up my, I'm just going to train. I have feel these new budding powers coming on in my mind, and I'm just going to try to train
Little
and
farm fit.
a little farm fit.
Farm
I'm going to
fit.
push it out, and I'm going to run it out now. So I'm just going to train. Get my
Okay, and
weapon
guys,
sharp
excuse
and
me for
wait
one sec. I
more.
got to grab headphones. I forgot that this mic is picking up a little bit of what you're saying. So I'm just going to switch to headphones. Hold on a second.
Yeah, no worries.
No
No
worries.
worries.
I didn't notice for what it's
We-
worth.
What, the echo?
The echo,
Yeah.
yeah, me neither.
I don't hear it. I don't think we hear it. It might be different for people watching right now. But
Or maybe it's just
Ooh.
annoying for him. I know last week before I plugged the headphones in,
yeah,
I was just confused. It's hard to follow.
Well, while we're reading, I just want to say, Maddie, I loved your pro tips for beginners thing that you
Oh,
kind of
thank
did.
you.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that because I think
Yeah.
it's just kind of nice that D&D is not only for the people who've done it all their life, but it can be for people who now love it and are learning how to love
Totally.
it, especially right now when we all have such a need
Look,
to escape.
We
Such a
have
need to escape.
nothing but time. and
Nothing but time.
Nothing but time. It's a great time to try D&D.
do 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 do.
Yeah, it
I guess
is.
now is a good time for me to grab a cookie.
Go get it.
Yes. Did you make
Rations.
cookies today too?
We
I
made
made
cookies
cookies.
yesterday.
Rations.
Yum. What kind?
I made peanut butter and chocolate chip.
Oh,
Ah.
peanut butter.
We have chocolate chip oatmeal with just
That
a tiny
sounds
bit of
so-
chocolate in them, and they're really yummy. Yeah.
Yum. Okay,
Yeah.
be right
Butter
back.
and cookies is so good.
Yeah, it is. I also
Think-
kind of want to bring my bunny on camera.
Okay. Yeah.
C is for
Okay.
cookie. It's
I'm gonna
good
go
enough
get
for
my
me.
bunny rabbit. Hold on.
Is that our familiar?
Yeah.
We're gonna pick up a bunny rabbit.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
All right. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we got you now.
Okay, good. Yeah, we were having a slight echo. I forgot to get this in place.
It's all good, man.
All right.
All good.
People getting snacks. Good.
Well, Azar's grabbing a bunny rabbit from
Oh boy.
from the kitchens of Spall's house.
Chad, I noticed some of the cookies were gone. What happened there?
Oh, that's
I
weird.
don't know.
We don't
I don't
know.
know.
I don't
Can I
know.
roll a deceive? Can I roll a
Yeah, roll deception.
check. Yeah.
yeah?
All right.
Uh-oh. Jed, did I screw up the framing?
No, you're good now.
Okay. Look, I finally get to introduce. This is BB. I'm
Baby?
like, hello, BB, as in
BB.
BB-8, BB the bunny.
Get your little feet.
They just kill me. I love it. Are we back?
Not quite.
This bunny rabbit is so cute,
Really, really cute.
and she is potty trained, which is cool. Did you know that you could potty train bunny rabbits?
I did not know that.
It sounded like you were gonna say you could bunny train potties.
Still working on that one. That would be the ultimate in transformative magic, to not only potty train bunnies, but bunny train potties.
Yeah. I don't know what that would. Oh.
I don't even know what that
Maybe.
means.
She's a little bit mad at me right now because she's
Rabbit
not.
pellets.
She's
Rabbit
like,
pellets.
I didn't sign up for this.
She's like, I did not sign a NDA for this project.
Cutie bunny, cutie bunny.
Okay, I got a cookie.
Oh, damn. I
All
want
right.
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys.
Okay, I'm gonna put her back down. She's so mad at me. She's so mad at me. Okay, don't drink scotch, bunny. That was down.
Yeah, I feel like
Put her down.
that scotch
Hold
like messed up my throat.
Scratchy, 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 scotch.
I know, sort of like choked to death over here. Okay, all right, we're back.
We're all back.
Okay,
Well-
so sorry about that. So Seville, you ended that conversation with Laura Arena,
Yep.
and anything you want to do before the rest wake up?
No, I'm just going to train.
All right. So as you go back to training in your room, the rest of you, well, our human and our halfling, you have successfully made it to morning. So you may all check off a long rest.
Wow, you really kept some suspense there about whether we were.
I know that
I
hurts
know.
you a little bit to even say that, Jed.
I know it does. It
It'll
does.
be okay.
Live
It's
to
all
see
right.
another day.
You'll get another long rest in like 2 months. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds about right.
All right. So as you all find the morning and you hear a rather kind of sleepily wakening in the morning because of the big party that raged all through the night before. You see a few people looking out the window to the street below, kind of groggily, still some heading home in their party clothes, doing the walk of shame. Some like early workers out there cleaning up debris on the streets and returning the city, the beautiful trade city of Warden, to its natural state. What would you guys like to do?
Let's
I guess
chat each
knock
other
on
up
some
a bit.
doors and get some breakfast.
I mean, I'm finding anything that I can, like, if there's like a water pitcher in my room and like a fork, I'm like ding, ding, dinging for the help to come. Because
The
I know
help?
this is a full service establishment.
Yeah.
Oh, why? What are you
Hello?
doing with the
Hello?
loud noises?
Hi.
Ah.
Actually, I
Okay,
just
Miss
really,
Scream in the middle of the night.
I'm like super groggy because that stuff was really powerful stuff that she gave me. So I literally, like, normally might be an early riser, but I am not today.
And Tabitha, you see after a couple moments, Elas comes into your room and she's holding a box. And she says, "Good morning.
Good morning.
This was left for you, and are you ready for some breakfast?"
yes, I'm going to need 2 breakfasts, please.
Certainly, I'll be right back. I'll get it
Okay.
ready for everyone.
I don't think they knew about second breakfast.
What about Noonsies?
Hey, guys, what's in the box? What's in there?
All right. So what are we all in Tabitha's
So,
room, or are we? What are we doing?
I don't know. I think Tabitha's alone in her room. I think the rest of you are starting to congregate
Well,
somewhere.
But I'm in her room. 'cause I
Yeah,
slept
you
in
slept
her
in my
room.
room.
Yeah.
So Arisette, you look over at Tabitha. She looks at this box, and it's actually beautifully wrapped in this kind of purple paper with a bow on it, and there's a little note, and you turn it over, and it says, "You really do remind me a lot of myself. I hope this aids you in your next adventure." And then there's a beautiful curved S.
Arisette, let's have to open it. Let's open
So
it.
you rip open the
Oh
paper, open it up,
My gosh.
and you find these beautiful boots. They're black, and they have the leather work on it is just incredible. It's layered so that each layer has this feel of this kind of elven script that's actually built into the boot. And they feel amazingly light. They look stiff, and yet when you move the leather, very, very subtle or supple.
These might be the most beautiful boots I've ever worn. And I mean, I've been rocking these Croc boots well, most recently. So this is, I mean,
That's really saying something. I mean, those Croc boots are sick. And now that these are even sicker is just
double
wow.
stick.
Double
And I
stick.
immediately put them on.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll send you.
I have like a pang of jealousy that she's not my size, so that I could at least take her sloppy second crocodile boots. So it's just like not happening. It's like, oh, first
We're
time I ever
very
wished I
different
had
sizes.
small
Yeah.
feet. Yeah.
Well, maybe you can rework the croc leather into something.
No, she's not giving those up. She's
A
not.
lady of noble stature has no business wearing Croc boots. Don't worry.
True.
That's
But
true.
you know, I'm away. I don't have to be on princess duty right now. It's kind of
So
nice.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
Maddie, I'll send you what those boots are in a moment.
But I'm
they're a
basically,
thing? Is it like magic? Okay.
You're gonna find out.
Wow.
I'm imagining. I don't know if you guys are cool with this. That we are maybe all gonna have breakfast together and talk and catch up about what we're gonna do.
Like we're in a ski lodge. Like it's kind of like we just went down the slopes and we had night. And now it's like the bacon's frying and you smell the cinnamon
right.
rolls. Oh,
Yeah, everything you
so
said,
good.
just minus the ski lodge.
That's
Yeah.
it.
So great. So
All
great.
right. So I'll just go and knock. If maybe Otto's out in the hallway too, but anybody who's not on the hallway will just give gentle knocks.
Yeah. I come down and I'm ready. I'm sitting at the table, ready to go.
I'm coming to that table, sitting down.
Okay.
Nice.
And you guys see a full like breakfast spread being laid out for you. It's just eggs and sausages and tomatoes, and it's like a full English fry-up.
And the limbus spread.
No limbus, but some beautiful mushrooms and some other vegetables. And there are drinks poured. There's like, it looks like some kind of a wine,
great.
actually.
So are we all together? Is that right?
I am there.
Are we all there?
I'm
I think,
down there.
yeah, I think you're all
I'm
there.
down there. Yeah.
Okay,
I came down
great.
there. So.
And
Yeah.
I'm finding like
Tabitha.
excuses to kind of kick my feet up or like kind of pose my leg.
Where'd you
Just
get
for
those?
guys. I got them as a gift.
Got them as a gift.
Yeah.
That's some fun.
Delivered right to her room this morning.
Who are
Well,
they
do you have
from?
You have an admirer?
What's that lady's name?
No one likes
Sval?
us here. Everyone wants to kill us.
Sval?
Small.
Sval. S-V-A-L.
Oh. Well, I'm sure all of ours will be arriving any minute now.
Well, maybe just a kind of a more special thing for me, but
I was joking.
maybe.
Well, Tabitha, I'm glad you got a present because I wanted to talk to you about that dagger that we agreed
wait.
to. Yes.
Well, what
When
do
we
we need the dagger for?
What's that?
What do we even need the dagger for? Where are we going? What are we doing? It kind of seems like we don't have anything to do.
Well, we were getting
Well,
to that.
we're
right?
getting to that. But Tabitha, remember when I said I'll give you my share of the gold in Smatrel's house if you don't mind me keeping this dagger? Are we going to still have that accord between us?
I gave the dagger to Otto, and Otto gave the dagger to me, so now it's mine.
No, I
I'm
gave
just
the
sort of
dagger.
awkwardly like eating a sausage. I'm like,
I gave the dagger to Otto to look for me, and he gave it to you, which I thought was a nice sentiment. I let you have it, and now I want to know if you're going to agree to what we agreed on.
How much gold was it? Your share?
Well, 500 from that house.
She checks her inventory. How much gold do I
I
have?
mean, it's not like we didn't save your life or anything, but that's okay.
come on, just give him his gold.
Fine, you can have your gold. I'm keeping the cool dagger.
Okay. I'll take 500 gold.
I'm so bummed.
Wow.
Well,
We just get 500
You
gold.
have more money than all of us.
Yeah.
I know, but it was really high.
well, not anymore.
Hey, you've probably generated like a few copper worth of interest on your bank money.
Don't
That's
make me
true,
do
that's
the
true.
None of us can
accounting.
say that.
That's true.
Okay,
worry.
so yeah, to
Good
what
job.
EnnaZora was
Flawless
saying,
notes.
Yeah.
So,
I sort of clear my throat and I'm like, so obviously there was some feelings and I imagine some thoughts affecting us all about what our next steps are.
And
Well-
you see, Elias comes up to you. I'm so sorry to interrupt. I have a message from Sval to please let her know what you decide and to perhaps do it quickly. There are some guards that are looking for a couple that match your descriptions, and she points to Seville and Otto as being in front of the house last night. They're looking for you for questioning. So
Do you have any
I am
spells?
so tired of questioning.
Change your appearance. Change your appearance immediately. They can
Well,
come
well, hold
inside
on
any
a minute.
minute.
you're safe. You're completely safe in this
Right.
house.
Well, just from that, I take off the beard, pull it off, and I'll put it in my backpack for now.
You take
What?
off your beard.
You have a removable beard? What?
I've got a
so
nice
you were
little
wearing a prop beard the whole time?
the whole time. I have usually
Every
clean-
single moment that I've known you, when we were in the water and everything, you've been wearing this fake.
You at all. To just
Yeah.
always be wearing a prop beard. You just might as well always have a beard or always not have a beard.
Well, I can grow it, but sometimes it comes in patches. So I've had this one on for a little bit. I like it, so I have a couple other ones too. But
I go over to Seville and just like pull at his hair. Is this
That's-
real too?
that's real, lass. That's real. Thanks.
Wait, what was that lady or man? Whatever the gender that person was. What were they talking about? Decide. Decide what? Why was she
Yeah.
listening to our conversation?
well, you're
most
all.
likely.
Yeah, I
She
mean,
heard
she's
debate last night.
she's kind of flitting around you. You know now that she was left there for your protection, and she's obviously in communication with Sval. And Sval would like to know what your plan of action, and just wanted to warn you that there are a couple guards out looking for you. Some Smatrel's guards.
Look, if I'm going to be quite honest, I can't even tell the difference in my mind between Sval and
Smatrel.
Smatrel, and there are all these different people yanking us every which way.
Well, then it sounds like we're all thinking, I'm sure, it's about time that we get out of here and make way to a new place. Now,
Yes.
there
I've got some
some-
good news for you.
oh, go by all means.
I talked to Larar, and
Oh, of course
I-
you did.
changed the conditions of the terms of sending you home. If you want to go home now,
Mhm.
she will get you a ship and you can go back to Fameroom, back to your families, and no strings attached.
Are you being serious?
I'm being very serious. I told you I'd talk to her. And I'm
I have
being
a
serious.
question.
Yeah.
Could I go back to the Feywild? It's not my home, but it sounds interesting.
You'd be welcome in my kingdom anytime, but not until we finish this mission, Tabitha.
Sure, yeah. What? No, he's saying we can go whenever we want.
You can
But
go
I'm not going anywhere.
right now. My question is,
How do you know
And
that
I-
evil isn't in Faerun? You don't know anything about it.
You're
What?
telling me I don't know anything about that evil. You were telling me that. You don't know anything about my kingdom. You know nothing about my kingdom.
Isn't it in Faerun?
It's in a
Yes.
hidden area. The moon elves are in a hidden area. You've never been there.
Well, it seems like it would be easier to protect them if we were in the same dimension.
That does ring true
Makes sense.
a bit.
That's not true. This evil is like a cancer and it's spreading. We have to
All right.
strike it at the source. Don't rationalize going home. If you're afraid, go home. That's fine. But don't
nothing I-
pretend that it'd be the right thing to do.
Listen, if you believe that the root of this evil is here, I'm willing to hear you out. But we've learned precious little as to where it could be, in what form it could be. And we've been, in the meantime, pulled in other directions into the politics of Anacrolate.
Exactly.
And so,
And on top of that, we've all almost died many times.
that's true as well.
Well, I never
That's why
wanted
I
to do
talked to
Lavar's
Laura.
dirty work for her.
Well,
That's why I
listen.
talked to her.
Listen, I think now we've learned that we don't have to do what Svol and the political leaders of the council want us to do. We don't have to, well, maybe you do, Svil, but not us, have to
Correct.
do what the Lara wants us to do. We should get back in the business of doing what we want to do. So why don't we know what you want to do, Arisette? We know that you want to find the root of this evil that you believe is here in Anacrolate. What do the rest of you want to do? Do you want to do that? Are you willing to risk your life again for these, and again, I mean no offense, my lady Arisette, but vague notions of darkness rumbling here? Are we all willing to do that?
I would mostly just like to make some money, so if we're going to be paid, I'm happy to do it, but
I doubt there'll be payment coming until we start unraveling this, but I'm pretty sure if you do something to save the kingdom, or if this is as big as it's making it out to be, I think you'll be quite set up. I wouldn't do it for the kingdom even. We all have our own reasons. I do it for my land. But if we go together, we do it for each other.
Here's
We've
what
got each
I'll-
other's back.
Where is the threat to this kingdom? And what is the threat to this kingdom?
that's
don't
actually
know.
a great question.
What
We
has
don't
Zora.
know.
Who is
Zora.
happening? Who
All
is
we know is we
what
have.
are they doing?
And
Yes.
Azora, you're
So
right
let's
about
throw some
something.
pieces on the table here. What do
And
we got?
Azora, you're right about something. We don't know yet. Because we've been led by fools in all sorts of directions, doing other men's dirty work for them. But there is something, a terrible evil, Anazora. Imagine if anything that you've ever loved, everything you've ever held holy, was turned to ash and char in a minute. That is what
Where is that? What is
don't-
what is going? So if you were to lead this group, where would we go? What would we do? How would we?
we would go down into the stores, and you know how much I hate those stores. And we would go back to where that blood pool was, and we'd go through that portal, and we'd go into that icy winter where something stung me on the hand. I sense that that's where we have to go.
Somebody
that's-
hardly sounds that evil to me.
I don't know what's there on that portal, but I know that it's far out of this worldly realm here where it's nothing but politics and money, and that's not the problem. The problem's far bigger than that.
Well, as I said, if you believe it's related to what we found, and I make reference to the artifact, the key,
Mhm.
then we do not know if venturing back through the sewers and through the portal will lead us there. But we do know that making our way back to that, I forget exactly what it was, how it was described. Was it described as a crypt or as a the place that you guys had gone without us, where you saw the.
Oh, back to Merrig, outside of Merrig.
No, not Merrig. I guess it's outside of Merrig, but you're talking about the site, the little
Yeah.
township that appeared.
Yeah, what was the fort called? There was something with a G, I think.
It wasn't a fort. This was off of This was kind of as
This
you
was
were
the
in
shade trade.
you were in the Dwindle Plains
Yep.
and trying to find your way, and you went deeper into the forest and you stumbled.
But it's a place that appears and disappears. That doesn't sound like a very promising lead.
The
No,
town of
it's-
Cruz.
And
It's
it
not.
doesn't talk to us either, so I don't quite see what we would be doing going after it.
Absolutely not. And it may not show
Gavar.
itself to us. That'd be another fool's errand, as far as I'm
There
concerned.
are creatures and terrible, evil people out there killing people every day. I want to stop them. I want to save people.
And the ones that are back in Faerun are the ones threatening my very family and, dare I say, inheritance.
The ones that are back in Faerun? What do you
Like
mean?
I said, you've
There
got
are
a passage out
plenty
of...
of evils afoot there too, and I have a much more specific idea about how those could be combated. The evils that we face here, we know so little about. It feels overwhelming. It's an uphill battle. We don't even know where we would go next to combat it. Now, do we? If someone has an idea, by all means, I'm all
I don't
ears.
even know where this evil is.
Here's the pieces we know, at least from talking to Gavar. That was the town we went to. And Ebernath. He was talking about these symbols, and that there were 3 of them. There's in the water, in the snow, and one, I believe, in Carthan. And you say you've seen these symbols now, Otto, that spiral.
Yes.
And so we have something there. We've killed 2 necromancers. There is a portal we found leading to snow, probably the Dolgrim Mountains where Luknor is.
Which we know is a source of great evil because there was a hex
Yes.
put on the villagers there.
My question is this. I touched one of those circles,
Yes.
and just this strange thing came out, and it was neutral, and then
Yes.
it went away. No harm to me at all.
Hmm.
So why
No,
am I
that's-
convinced that this swirl is some sort of source of great evil that needs to be contained?
Well, there's this, and I go into my backpack and I pull out the diary of the necromancer that I took from his mansion that burned down.
Little bit of light reading.
Yes, you, Otto, have his perhaps spellbook, some incantations, some rituals to call forth Fanuj. And this diary here is talking all about that, about the 3 points, those spirals, and how it may be connected to the power that lifted Anacrally or took Anacrally out of Faerun.
Yes.
So yes, I am as lost. I have the information you have, and it's just a matter if we want to go on that trail or something else. And I understand you don't want to get into the politics. I don't want to get into the politics either. But if there's something brewing here that's involves Fanuj, this god of loss, then, well, a god is, I think that's big enough for everyone.
Yes, well.
And
here's
don't
what
forget
Yeah,
this.
go ahead. Go ahead.
And I pull out, attached to my backpack, that golden ring that Spider had talked to.
Yeah.
There's this, which I know nothing about except on the other side of it is some kind of mind using. I have no idea.
Yes,
So-
it was a rather vile entity on the other side, as far as I can recall. But it's hard to say. There are so many loose threads here.
There are.
Otto, all your
Yes.
life you've wanted to do something significant. I know that part of your snide veneer is because of the emptiness you feel inside, the worthlessness with which you desperately attempt to mask in vanity and erudition.
Have you
And
been
learning.
reading? Have you been reading through my poetry?
Listen, This would be something for the annals of history. This would be something for the annals of eons.
Yes,
You
but we're
must
not even
understand.
close.
Have
Listen,
you ever had
I was
EnnaZora?
hoping it would be a quick. I come back with a story. I show up home and I could embellish that. I got lost in some terrible ship at sea. I showed up in a new world. I quickly became the hero, and then I come back. I didn't want it to be so difficult.
Otto, that's exactly why you were never going to win. You were never going to succeed. That's the coward's way. You have to understand sacrifice, Otto, to become great.
I'm no coward.
Well, you
So-
were, and you've begun to show yourself, man.
You're making a great sacrifice. You have to know what the great sacrifice is for.
EnnaZora, have you ever had a dream? Have you ever had a dream that was so vivid that you could taste it?
I have dreamt of food.
No,
before.
but
Stay with me, guys. Stay with me. Be a team with me.
What do you want me to what? Be a team with you? Okay, what's the pay?
You'll find that on the road. My
Tabitha.
dagger that I gave you, that's the pay.
Yes,
Tabitha,
Arisette.
I'm to be queen of a kingdom. A kingdom I love more than the blood in my veins. If you help me save all that I hold dear, all that we know in existence, you can live in my kingdom. You can be my queen's escort. You can be anything you want. You can do anything you want in my kingdom. Just save it for me, with me.
Okay, I'm thinking.
And I'm like writing. I've sort of
This is
like
it's gonna reach favor.
I've sort of scooched my chair back a little bit, and I'm like writing down. And Otto has like suddenly been overcome with this whole vision, and he's scribbling down like an idea for a story where like he's the hero who saves everyone here, but when he comes back, he like weds Arisette and unites the Moon Elf Kingdom and the Human Kingdom and nobility, and he's like got like a little role for all of his companions in the story. They're all like a part, and like he's king. He's like jumping ahead a lot and like writing all this out. And you guys see that like some sort of like chuckle and enthusiasm in his tone and his voice, and by the time he's done, he's like, all right, well, how about this? I'm willing to go on one quest with all of you as a team and see where it takes us. And if we believe that we are getting closer to fighting this evil, and if we believe that we are capable of fighting that evil by the end of it, then perhaps I will stay. But I'm not guaranteeing anything beyond one more quest, because I have an open door to return home. And I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place, aren't I? Because if I try and put myself at risk in this quest so that I can come home the hero, if I overstep, then I won't be coming home, now will I? I'll be like Tabitha nearly was. So I can't guarantee my unending allegiance, but I will say this. I'm up for one more quest.
Let's go on an adventure.
Okay.
Now
Arisette.
the only thing to yes, go ahead, Toby.
Arisette, if I join you and help you, can you tell me what the richest city in your kingdom is?
We have only one city.
It's
The
just
water-
one.
The water runs clear and sparkling. The light reflects in ways you've never seen. It
Oh.
scintillates your soul. You can be bejeweled. You will live longer than ever before because the air is so rare and so fine. You
I would
will
like to be
positively
a part of
glow.
the nobility in some way. Can I wed a cousin or something so I can be in line for the throne? In
You
some-
know, yes, I have
I'm
a
like,
cousin who
oh,
probably would
that-
make a wonderful match.
I'm like, that is good.
Yes, yes. Arisette, I mean, Tabitha, you've become a friend. I would miss you even if we parted after this, alone.
We have become friends.
So
And yes,
look,
there's gold aplenty, my darling. More than
Okay.
just gold.
I'll do
Jewels,
it.
magic.
Not sure what we're doing, but I'm happy to do it.
Well, I hate to break this up, but we should probably discuss where we would even go next. And
Also,
remember,
did we-
there
I'd
are.
like to say one thing. Is
Yeah, did we answer your question?
Whatever we decide, we're doing it together as a team on our own accord. We're not following orders from anyone.
That's right.
That's right.
Indeed,
And-
EnnaZora.
To your point, if we're a true team, then we have to be transparent with one another. No secrets, no going behind each other's back, no keeping things from one another when it comes to making decisions. We trust each other, and we have each other's backs no matter what.
And I think we should vote when we disagree.
Oh, that sounds dreadful.
Do we have to share everything? Like,
Don't you realize that what you're
I really don't like Seville without his beard. Do we need to share that much?
You realize what you're describing is a democracy.
Yes.
I think we should defer to a leader, someone who, like in proper leadership, can lead the sheep when they go astray.
And who do you
So,
propose to be
EnnaZora.
the leader?
Well, certainly not me, but anyone else who feels up to it, by all means.
Listen, we'll all lead ourselves, but I love what Otto's saying. We'll take it one quest at a time. We do it together. We got each other's backs.
And then we're going home.
Yes,
And
but
then-
it's not one quest at a time. It's just one quest total.
Well, I'll check in with you after this quest.
All right,
If
now
you want to
let's,
go, you go.
let's get
I'm
down to
going
business. Where?
Now we decide, yes.
We
where
need
we
to
going?
figure out where we're going to go, because remember, we were spotted outside of the party, and there are going to be people looking for us, and it may not be as easy as us just waltzing out of the city. In fact, we may want to consider getting out of here and picking this conversation back up on the road.
Let's
Okay,
do it.
so on the count of three, let's say where we want to go. One,
Or
two,
that.
three.
Dulgarum Mountains.
Luknor,
Parkland?
Dolgor
Is that the
Mountains.
city in the north? Oh, or the city underwater.
Kill somebody and I can stop them.
Well, here's the thing. Asli, which is the beautiful city with the water, not under the water, but the city of water, that is close and in the direction of the Dolgrim Mountains or
Yes,
Luknor.
but I'm a bit traumatized by the water show.
True. But it's a
The what?
spectacular city.
The water show.
Yes, it had a rather interesting climax,
We
if
have-
you recall.
We have two portals we could go through. One in the sewer and one we found in that tank.
These are both just seeming. This doesn't hardly seem like a quest. It seems like kind of meandering.
Well, we are going after our clues.
Yes, well, what do you all think is the strongest possible lead to the root of this
We
potential?
could almost roll a die or something, and we would end up.
Well,
Okay,
unless,
EnnaZora.
I have one here.
unless we think there is something that makes more sense
Where
to
do you
go.
think this evil is, Arisette?
I've told you, we've got to go to Luknor. I
Okay.
sense it.
Okay, okay. And are your senses really good?
I should hope. I don't know.
Hold on
I've
a
followed
moment.
them so far. You
Hold
tell
on
me.
a moment. I want you to go into that sort of frantic scream-like state of yours for a second. Now,
Okay,
how many
okay.
fingers, using your vision, do I have behind my back?
2.
I'm gonna get up and look
No.
for Saul.
Maybe we should go somewhere else.
No.
Seville, what'd you say?
No.
I said I'm gonna
How
get
many
up
did
and
you
look
have,
for Sval.
Otto?
I'll put my chip in, and my chip in is for the portal in the sewer, Luknor.
Oh.
That's my choice. We'll see what. Let's see
You
what
know
you guys
what?
think.
And what did you say? Did she say Luke Nor as well?
Yeah.
But why? Why do we want to go there?
I
Sounds
think I want to
cold.
find the evil at its source, and that's the closest we've gotten to some.
Anything in your
powerful
vision seem Luke Nordish, mountainy? Anything?
Sticking
Well-
your head is the greatest evil.
We've had Ebernath with a vision.
Oh, I wrote
We've already
down.
killed 2 of these necromancers.
You see, the problem is visions aren't so great as, well, facts. Visions are notoriously untrustworthy.
Well, listen. We can always come back in from the portal if nothing good happens in Luknor.
I
As
have an idea.
Yes,
Yes.
go on.
Why don't we check the bounty board in this town?
And just go on a go on
on
a
our quest. Somebody is going to be evil, and that's why there's a bounty on them. Maybe we'll get
Well-
closer to this evil, and that's a
And we
fact.
might see that there's a bounty on us if we don't either lay low or get out of this town because
Well,
we
I
just
did
disrupted-
recommend some time ago that perhaps we get out of the city and continue this conversation
Yeah.
beyond the walls.
Okay, so then what would you suggest is the fastest way out of the city where we can be undetected?
That's a good question. Judd, is there multiple gates in and out of the city or just one?
There are 4 gates, and one going in each direction. So it's literally laid out a north, south, east, and west gate.
What I'd like to do is say, Tabby, brilliant. It's almost like you volunteered. Maybe you could go scout out the gates since you're so stealthy and see if any of them look low on guards, and we'll just pop out through one of those.
Okay, well, I specifically remember the last time that we separated and I was tasked with doing something. So instead, I know what I'll do. And I'll ding, ding, ding with like the fork on the bell again.
Yeah, Elas is kind of watching you guys at a distance, and she rushes over. Yes.
Elas, we have a question. What is the best gate for us to leave undetected?
Undetected. That would be a question of undetected by whom?
The guards, of
By the
course.
people who are trying to find us.
Ah.
Or also any thieves guild.
Azar, I don't know what you just did.
I just shifted my view. Does that
Yeah,
screw
you
everything
just
up?
you just changed all the.
Oh God, I'm so
Remember,
sorry.
you can't touch the phones.
I'm sorry. I
Okay.
didn't know. I'm so sorry.
Now Maddie
didn't
and oh my God,
know.
you guys are all messed up. Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So,
Thank
Judd,
you.
I see it. I think it's, well, it looks,
Hold on.
I'm sure
hold
they
on.
just moved their filters or something.
they just shifted around, but I see.
You're all just shifted in the wrong spots. Just give me a moment. Just give me a
I'm
moment.
sorry,
Anyway,
guys. I won't do that again.
Well, in the meantime, we
Listen,
can...
what is everybody's resistance to going to the sewer and going to Luknor?
Well, just remember, we went through that sewer portal.
Yes,
We weren't convinced that the portal would stay open forever. And in
correct.
fact, when we went through it, there were nothing but enemies literally surrounding us and closing in on us. So
Are you
much
talking
so,
about the spiders?
Yes, the ice spiders.
so
and we
much
saw
so
that in town.
that we
Yeah.
went back through the portal before
Yes.
it would dissipate. So I would say there is plenty of reason for resistance to go back through that.
So you're saying you're afraid, Otto?
What I'm
Fair enough.
saying is that it's dangerous and we could be stuck there.
With no board.
And with no guarantee that
So-
that leads us any closer to
Otto.
combating this evil.
Otto, nothing great was ever accomplished by staying comfortable and safe. Don't you understand?
A little
These are
bit.
times for men, for kings. It's time for you to grow out of your safety and your familiar, comfortable zone of just pomposity and fluff and bullshit. It's really time to dive in, my darling.
Listen, if it's not the sewers,
Is
where is
good.
it?
Well, that's why I was just in the middle of asking Elas what the best way to get out of
Yes.
here would be.
So,
It may be true that no good was ever done without some bit of overcoming some kind of fear, but no great mountain was ever climbed that couldn't be seen. How are we supposed to do that? We don't even know where to go, where to step.
Well,
so lots of things. Hold
Yes.
on. So, as you probably saw on your way into town, each gate is heavily fortified with guards. That's why
Yes.
Borden is one of the safest cities in the kingdom, other than Carthen, of course. From what I've gathered talking to Sval, the people you are trying to avoid, Smatrel's guards, they're not associated with the city, and they seem to be moving throughout the city looking for the two of you here. They don't have any other leads to go on at the moment. So I don't know their precise location, but I would say we are actually closest to the southern gate, so it's probably your quickest exit. And I think also, if you'll permit me to talk to Sval, she might have other means of getting you out of the city as well.
Well, I'm sure if we just
Great.
kept
Permission granted.
if we just keep a low profile, we could, throw a hood over our heads and just duck out. I'm not keen on involving Svold any more than we need to.
And Seville, you know, and Arisette, I think you both remembered that you have a lot of clues pointing to the necromancers coming from the south, from the cold, combined with Evernath's vision of the robed people that eviscerate him in the snow. Everything seems to be pointing down to the south.
What are the hard clues outside of the visions? Anything?
You have, lots of things. Let me see.
One of the pieces of paper we found when we went to get Tabitha said something about Luknor.
Yes, and
It
you heard from Lerard that her asset down in Luknor knows that something is going on. The whole town seems to be bewitched in some way.
they can't leave.
They can't
Right.
leave, and they can't pass on the information about. Supposedly, there is some sort of a hidden city in the mountains, in the Dolgrom Mountains, that might be associated with the evil that you're checking.
The one
And
that we
she's-
Sorry,
She
what's
said
that?
Yeah,
that the
that's all.
locals were prevented as if by magic from communicating the secret to her.
Yeah.
But
So-
that's different than the Dolgor Mountains, what the secret city is.
No, it's in the Dolgrom Mountains.
Luknor is near the Doldrum.
Oh, I see. I see.
Luknor
I
is
see.
at the base. It's in the foothills of the Dolgrom Mountains. The Edgeguard specifically, Lerard Rena specifically sent a set down there to figure out what's going on. So they're getting their own clues.
So basically, that's, I think, the way I imagine it is we've spent some time going back over the clues. It sounds like there's some reason enough to at least go check it out. And Otto's offer still stands. He's willing to go on at least one last quest with the gang.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know the last necromancer you killed literally was in front of a portal that led to Luknor in the Dolgrom Mountains.
Correct.
Right. So I'm willing to do it. I think we just need to decide if we're going through the sewer to there, through that portal, or if we're getting out of the city, and if we're going to go ahead and do it. I'm basically gone up to my room and kind of got together my things so that we can get a move on one way or the
How
other.
far is it if we don't portal through?
It's really far.
How long would it take us?
You'd have to ask somebody, but Seville, you have a general idea that it's hundreds and hundreds of miles.
It's a couple hundred miles, and then it's going to be tough going through the snows, the ice.
So to my point though, just to point out, if we do go through the portal and we're not able to go back through it before it closes, that means we are stuck hundreds of miles there away. I just want to make sure we're all aware and prepared for such a thing. I was hoping to, provision a bit before we go on a long journey, but I'll have to be very quick about it, or perhaps recruit Saval's help to have someone go run errands for us.
We're going to need some
Saul?
winter wear.
Yes. Perhaps she can outfit us.
Can you set up your weird little magic ring to bring us back here?
I haven't tried to do more than one, so I can, but I don't know. We can try it out at reset. I have all the charges right now. Let's see if I can take
Convenient.
2.
Actually, Otto, who did a identify spell on it, knows that it only carries 1.
Don't care. It's one
Could it
charge.
do one at a time?
No, one person at a time.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
okay,
you could
okay.
do one at a time. I mean, if we get really into trouble, one of us could escape and then come back and pass
There's
it
no-
through the portal.
There's no going back because there's only one object that it's tied to.
Oh, sorry, everyone. I've just heard from Sval.
Okay.
It does seem like things are escalating a bit. They had the meeting with the circle this morning, of which Sval basically revealed that Smatrel's statue was a fake. He has now put a bounty out on rough descriptions of you two. They're not exact.
Why a bounty? On what grounds? There's nothing.
He's looking for information. So I suggest, and she suggests, that perhaps either to lay low for the day and sneak out tonight, or try to get out quickly before other people get interested in scouting the city for her.
Could you run some errands on my behalf?
Of
perchance?
course. What do you need?
Well, I'm looking to go to the shop that sells spell scrolls. And I'm
Okay.
sure some of us would also like to purchase some potions or other useful equipment.
Yes.
Yes, if you'll gather your lists, can I tell Sval that you'll be leaving soon?
Well,
We don't know. It depends on if we get the supplies. There's stuff we need. We don't know. It depends. If we can get some winter gear, we need some things. Unless we're going to go out right now. If they're only looking for Otto and myself, which we have
could send the
nothing to do
others
with
out.
it, we can send them out, or I can disguise up Otto and I can disguise myself, and we can all go out and hit these stores together. They're not
This
going to be
is
looking
not
for
time
5 of
for a
us.
shopping spree.
yes,
I
it
think-
is.
Yes, it is.
I think
We are
Is.
not. We're not prepared to go into that snow and ice. We are not prepared to go into the
we
snow
can
and
get
ice.
we can get what you require. I can do it quickly. Please gather your list of what you'd like, and I will move.
We need furs. 5 of them. Large ones.
That's no problem. Also, to let you know, I overheard if you do go to the south, if you can make your way back to Asley, there are teleportation circles there, and Sval can give you passage to bring you back to this city or to Carthan or any of the major cities from there, which is only, I think, about 100 to 200 miles from the Dolgro Mountains.
Ah, only 100 to 200.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
It's a
How
lot
do we
closer than
find
it
it?
is.
Teleportation passages. Is there a way that we scout them out?
Well, you'll see probably the Wizard's Tower in Asley. I've never actually been there myself, but our teleportation circles are all within our Wizard Tower here.
Okay. Wizard Tower in Asley. Okay. Okay. Well, could you get those furs quickly? And what else do you want? Quick.
How much
stalling, Otto.
potions can you get for us?
Well, I've already given you the health potions that I was able to find
What
Uh,
about
did?
any
the
sort
night
of,
before. Yes, she gathered. I
what,
kept...
what about any sort of potions that resist the elements of cold, or perhaps even cold like
Ah,
spells?
that reminds me, Otto. And
Yes.
I take out, well, it's upstairs in my pack. We found 3 potions.
Yes, I have identified one of them.
they're all the same, Otto.
Oh, they're all the same.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, you did identify it. Okay.
Yes.
What are they?
Is what's her name lingering around and listening to everything, Judd?
She is waiting for you to produce a list for her.
I'll get back to you on
Didn't
that.
we give her a
All right.
list last night?
Yeah, I
She-
think of just making sure before she goes into the town today, and it's incomplete. So definitely cold weather clothing, anything that could resist the cold in the form of a potion.
Yep.
I would
And
like.
Elas, did you have my jewelry made?
It is being made, but it's not going to be ready for I'd say probably a couple days.
What?
It's not an instantaneous process. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, if I'm not here in town when it's ready, can you just? I have a safe deposit box and a bank account at the local bank.
Oh
So
yes, absolutely.
put it there. Thank you.
And I think I'd rather go to the spell scroll shop myself. I don't know. You mentioned something about disguising us, Seville. I think that may be in order. It'll be a bit too complicated since I need to see what they have. So if you could get those things for us, that would be wonderful. And in the meantime, perhaps we go out and get what else we need.
Absolutely. I have 8 healing potions here, which I managed to get last night. Your jewelry's being made. I have the wine that you all requested. There's extra here. You may help yourself. There is an arcane shop. It's not too far from here. I'll give you directions to that. And I can get the furs. Is there anything else?
Rope.
Rope. Okay. Very well.
And if you could get ice axes and crampons.
I don't know if I've seen that in town here.
No problem then, don't worry.
Okay.
I know I can get the furs.
Great.
Great.
And I appreciate the healing potions. That's very kind of you.
I'll take a mink, please.
Can
Well-
you get poison?
Poison. I'm sure it's for sale here, yes.
You
Deadly-
know,
deadly poison.
I don't know if we need to go shopping around for that. And I turn my head and I wink at you, Arisette. I turn my head away from what's her face.
From Elas. Okay. And Seville, I'm sorry, you wanted healer's kits as well. I haven't procured those yet, but I'll get them as I go out.
Yeah, if there's any of those, it'd be nice.
Those we can definitely get.
Good.
Right. Well, if there's nothing else, I'll be off. If you stay within the house, you will be protected. If you do go outside the house, some of the arcane protections that Sval put on the house will lift. So just be more cautious if any of you decide to leave.
Okay.
Hey,
All
Good.
right. And as you see her scamper off, we're a little late for our break, guys. So we're going to take
Sorry.
a quick break. That's okay. We're 15 minutes over our break. So we'll take a quick break. We'll be back about 10 minutes or so. And we'll see you guys then.
See you guys then.
Bye. Everybody think there we go. We're back.
Hello.
Hello. So, oops. Hello. Stupid
hello.
headphones.
Cheers,
Okay.
everyone.
Cheers. Got some
Cheers.
steaming hot ale here.
Piping hot.
Is that
Piping hot.
rosé? Is that rosé, you
Yeah.
guys? Oh, it looks so
Yeah.
pretty.
Ooh,
It's got a nice color to it.
rosé. So fancy. All right. Well, everybody. So, bringing us back in, Elas exited to go get some items for you, and Chad and Seville, I believe you were starting to disguise
We're heading to the
yourselves.
spa.
Heading to the spa. Okay. Enjoy.
Didn't we just spy, you guys?
I think we're just kidding.
No, I'm kidding. So
Oh,
I'm
I
gonna
was
start.
like-
I'm gonna start masking up. Just putting some makeup on Otto.
wow.
disguising him. I'm gonna give him big, huge mutton chops and a goatee. And I'm gonna age his eyes a little, put in a little bit of some crow feet here.
Oh, you're starting to scare me, Seville. Don't make me look too much like my father.
I'd like some chops if you have some extra.
Oh, I have a wonderful mustache if you'd love to wear it.
I would.
Absolutely. All right, so as I'm doing up Otto here, I'm still putting some blondes in here, keeping his stash, but instead of that telltale curl, I'm gonna bend it down handlebar style because that mustache is a little too revealing for
It's like a
Otto.
DC 15 strength check to get that.
Yeah, it's just ping.
Oh,
And then after I'm done working with Otto, I'm gonna go to EnnaZora and I'll show her my kit. What color would you like? What color should we do for you? Do you want to be blue? Well, blue. I don't have a blue because, well, that would be a really funny disguise. I do have a reddish orange. I have one. You want a reddish orange?
Beautiful.
Yes. It's kind of a walrus kind of mustache. So it hangs down here. It's pretty big and droopy, kind of those old gunslinger mustaches.
Oh, it sounds perfect. Thank you.
Excellent. I can also give you, but your eyebrows are so beautiful to begin with. But we could, puff them out. Look like, there's a couple of caterpillars just sitting right on your eyes.
I would love that.
Same color scheme.
Make my nose look like a butterfly.
Your what?
You can make my nose look like a butterfly.
I could do it for a moment. I could put a little. Yes, let me do something here. So I put on the big eyebrows on her, and then with prestidigitation on her nose, I just kind of make a little symbol of a butterfly flapping, little animated butterfly.
I think the clown walking around. And
Yeah, that shouldn't draw any undue attention now, should it?
well, they didn't see a clown trying to break into that house, did they?
No.
I don't know.
Didn't. So I'm very not suspicious.
Yeah.
Ah, well.
For myself,
touche.
the hat's going away. I have no beard, but I'm going to put on. I'll put on just a simple kind of goatee with just some medium sideburns in black.
Are we all leaving the house right now?
I want to.
That's up to you.
I do want to go to the Cutters.
What is a cutter? I don't understand. You're playing dress up? You're going shopping? We have so much to do.
We do.
But we
But
don't
I
even know what it is.
I know, but I found out a little levity goes a long way. We've got to keep it light or we'll make mistakes. So I'm going to go do some resupplying. If anybody wants to come with me.
Well, let's split up just because you and I were seen together in case anyone sees through our disguise. But I'm going to go to the magic shop. I'm going to see if there's anything that could be of use, Arisette, as we venture forth into dangers unknown.
I'll meet you there. Mine will take just a wee sec. I have to go back to the wet and whistle.
Going to the magic shop. I want to ask them about my friend.
Your
Okay.
friend?
Little golden tree.
Ah, well.
Question from Maddie, the player.
Mm-hmm.
Can I buy a spell? Can anyone buy a spell, or only people who are like
So, to use a spell scroll, you do have to know magic still. Yeah.
And how do I know if I know magic?
You would be an arcane user. You right now wouldn't, but it can be something if you want to go down that road. You can start.
My Arcana score says +2. Is that helpful? No?
Not quite.
Not really translates into what you're looking at to do.
Otto.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, folks, if you don't mind, I'm going to take 2 of these healing potions that were dropped off. That'll mean there's 6 left. If you don't mind, I'll take 2 of them.
Sure.
Sure.
And Otto, could I have a vial of what you found there? You said gave a bit of a wink there. Is
Oh,
this what I
yes.
think it is?
And the loss is gone now, so
Yes, these are deadly poisons.
I will definitely take one of those if we have no objections. I would very
May I
much like
have
to
one too then,
use some.
Otto?
Sorry?
May I have one too then?
Yes, of course. Enjoy.
You know what kind of poison they are? Drow sleep poison. Drow sleep poison.
Judd,
I have to look at what I sent you.
I have it here. I believe it's a terrible poison that will kill without leaving a trace behind. A known assassin's sort of brew.
Ooh, very nice. Very nice.
Should do the trick.
Great. All right. So, what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna go to the magic scroll shop
Okay.
in my disguise.
And Seville, where are you going?
Well, you're always going on about my little trinkets. Would you like to see where they're from?
Sure. And are there any other stores we're going to pass along the way that might be like?
Well, could be. Let's see if there's
Okay.
anything. We'll duck in there together and see what we find.
Great.
Okay.
I'm going with Peter.
All right.
All right. Arisette? Magic store?
Believe this. I really can't. I can't believe it.
Well, believe it, it's happening. Now that's enough out of you. And I just walk out in my disguise.
Wow. Okay. All
We
right,
can't
and-
leave till nightfall anyways.
Just so I'm clear, obviously we have Tabitha and Seville. Otto, are you going with them, or are you gonna just split off and go to the arcane store on your
I'm
own?
gonna split off from them. I'm gonna go to the arcane store.
Okay, EnnaZora.
That's where I'm going to ask about my.
Okay. you
Yeah,
two
so
are-
her and I are going to the
You
arcane
two,
store.
and Arisette, are you going with anyone?
No. I'm gonna go get foot massages.
I knew there was a spa day in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. So.
Very interesting.
So, EnnaZora and Otto, we're going to start with you because the arcane store, and Elas told you how to get there before, is closer than where Seville and Tabitha are going. So you wind your way through the streets, and again, there aren't a lot of people out, even now that it's a little bit past lunch, or not past lunch, but past breakfast. We're kind of at like the 10:30 time now. And you make your way. Some shops are still closed. Some are just starting to open. There's still evidence of the festivities from the night before all over the city. And you come to a beautiful ebony wood storefront. And it has this, it's tall, it's beautiful. There's intricately carved runes through the wood. And there's a purple sort of glowing light that's coming from the inside.
Ooh.
I go in.
Okay. And you see a very tall, broad-shouldered gentleman, dark skin, shock white hair, trimmed close, dressed very well in this kind of almost like a silk suit in a way. Looks quite dapper, and he turns with a very warm smile. Well, welcome, my friends. Come in, come in. How are you doing?
Good day.
Better.
Could be better. Well, let's see if we can't help you out. And as you make your way into this store, you see all manner of arcane instruments. You see scrolls, you see paper, you see inks, you see various weapons that are up on the wall. Some look very intricately crafted, some look a little bit more basic. You see pendants that you're not really sure what they're associated with as well. Well, what can I get for you guys today? What do you need?
You're an expert.
Am I an expert? In what? That's a bit of broad question.
Magical things.
A bit, yeah, I am. What can I help you with?
Maybe look at this.
Sure, sure.
And can I trust you?
Of course you can trust me. Though never trust anyone who says trust me. But you can. What can I do?
That was a confusing answer. I'm gonna answer his answer.
Yeah, go for it. Roll. Five. Yeah, I mean, you don't even care. There's a sincerity just kind of exuding off of this gentleman that you're like, of course he's trustworthy.
I'm going to show him this little golden tree.
Oh, well now, look at that. Where did you get this?
Oh, this tree gave it to me.
This tree gave it to you.
This tree. This little tree. This tree gave me this little tree.
Now that's a bit confusing, actually.
Remember the golden tree at this one town?
Yes, our golden tree in the center of town. I'm quite familiar. Yes. Did you get this there?
Mm-hmm. And it talked to me.
This little tree talks to you.
Mm-hmm.
What does it say?
It says it needs help.
It needs help.
But it doesn't even really say that. It just says a bunch of words.
Okay.
Mumbo jumbo, really. It's not sentences. It doesn't mean really anything at all.
Ah,
But
fascinating.
I think this thing might have some magic in it. I'd like to know what it is.
And he pulls up his hand, and you see this purple energy coalescing around his hand and just kind of dissipates through the room. Oh, yeah. That's definitely magic. Can I take a look at that? What's that?
This is what I've been told.
Yes, well, you're absolutely right. It's definitely reading as magical.
I haven't done much magical things besides just sitting in my pocket, and I don't think that's quite magical. A rock could do the same thing.
Well, it doesn't look very smushed for being in your pocket, so maybe that's magical.
Oh, it made
Well, let me take a look, if you don't mind.
Sure.
And you pick it up and you hand it over to him, and you see a few tendrils of the gold thread kind of wrap itself around your finger as you place it down, almost like it's a little reluctant to let go, but then lands in his palm and curls up and then reforms into its tree shape. Well, now would you look at that? Huh. This is curious. Now tell me, how did you actually get this? Did you find it in front of the gold tree? You know, people aren't really supposed to go up to that tree, but maybe this is why.
The tree gave it to me.
Tree gave it to you.
Does that matter?
Well, I mean, I like to know where things come from. It often gives relevance to an object. Let me see. Well, hello, tree. How are you doing, my friend? And you just see him, as he's talking to the tree, you see his hand moving, and you see different kind of energies kind of passing over his hand as he's talking to the tree. This is interesting.
I agree with you on that.
Well, I can't say I've seen anything like it before, but then, you know, the golden tree of our town has quite its own unique magical history. It was associated with the wizard that built the tower that it's next to.
Oh, really?
Yes, and it's quite old.
How old?
Thousands of years old from what I've been told.
You usually talk to people.
I've never heard of it talking to anyone.
So you don't have any information on this little... You don't know anything about this?
Wow. You're a bit uppity, aren't you? Well,
Uppity?
well, hold on now. I like to find out information. I want to know what this is too. I've lived in this town my entire life, and I've well traveled, and I've never heard of this tree giving up anything other than a few golden leaves dropped on the ground.
my friend.
What is it saying to you? Because I'm not hearing anything, and I can tell that it's resisting my ability to identify it, which means in and of itself it's an entity. It's more than magic. This is a being. You know, let me try something else. Hold on a second.
Oh.
And he goes over and he's got a shelf of books, just hundreds of these books, and he's looking. Yeah, here we go. Hold on. And he's holding the tree in his palm, and he's just a few feet away from you. And he's reading some words on the page, and you see this bright white blue energy going to swirl off his fingers and surround the tree. Ah. Now that is interesting.
You've said that before.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm fascinated, and I don't like to not know things. There's something about this that is... How do I say this? This is a divine power. This is not normal magic. And he takes it and he puts it back in your palm.
And Judd, I wonder, while this has all been happening and they've been having this conversation, I've been browsing about the store. Does anything seem interesting to me? Like are there magical implements or spell scrolls or potions or anything like that in there?
This is a very heavily stocked Arcana store, so you're seeing just about anything you want. Now there is a barrier, kind of a desk, or not a desk, but like a counter that separates the front half from the back, and you see what looks like a little bit more intricate. You see more potions in the back than you see in the front. But you definitely see all manner of, like I said, scrolls, paper, special inks, spell components. What exactly are you looking for?
Maybe some specific spells.
Okay.
For example, like a glyph of warding.
Okay. Hold on.
Of course, that spell.
Yeah. It's always like, wording, a little paprika, and like the three things I'm always looking for when I go to the store, the magic store.
Of course.
What about like a cool wand, like from Harry Potter? Do they have those there?
Yeah, there are wands there as well.
Ooh.
Like the
Maddie,
wands
what-
are in the wands are in the back.
Maddie, we're going there after this.
As a college of swords bard, my sword or my magical instrument is my spellcasting focus. In other words, I don't use wands.
Exactly. So you don't see that one out, but you can certainly ask him about it.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Okay. Well,
Looking for a few particular spells, if you could indulge me.
absolutely. Just give me a moment here. Now, I don't want to be rude, but before I tell you more about this, I've never seen an orange elf before. Where are you from?
With a butterfly in her nose.
Yeah, that's right. Are you actually still
And a
orange?
long handlebar mustache.
She's got a huge walrus mustache.
I'm mad.
Interesting.
But I definitely do have a mustache on and caterpillar eyebrows.
Okay.
I look ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I'm
Sorry.
surprised that he hasn't said anything about it.
Yeah, no, that's my fault because I was looking for information when you guys were talking about that, so I missed some of that description. Okay.
He's like 100% trained in PC. Like he doesn't
I think
like at all,
Well.
He broke the subject just now, but
And he's you see that he's been doing various things as he's been looking at you, looking at the tree. So he's probably looking beyond your disguise a bit. But wow, never mind. I feel there's something interesting about you, but more interesting about this. This has a divine power. This is extremely potent.
How do I
I'd
use
say.
it?
I feel like this is a channel to a power. It's definitely unusual. I'm gonna do some research. I don't have anything here in the shop about that tree, but I do know some places that I can go research it. And if you let me know where you're staying, I will do so quickly because I'm fascinated.
Sure. I'll tell him where we're staying.
Okay. Ah, wow, you must be well connected with the circle. I was just over at the mansion last night helping Sval with some runic symbols in what was her theater, which seems to have gone, well, I'm not sure they're supposed to be talking about it, but they had a bit of a problem over there.
Oh no, I was there.
You were there? With the attack?
Mhm.
Well, I can tell you then that somebody put a dispel magic on the runic symbols, destroying them. Up
Oh,
at
you don't need to tell us that. We already knew.
Oh, well, that's what I was called for. Late last night.
I sort of look over toward EnnaZora and I'm just sort of like,
Oh, I think I'm supposed to kill you now.
Huh. I think you might find that difficult. That's certainly changing our relationship.
Oh, never mind. No, that's not it.
sorry, forgive her. If the terrible mustache wasn't a giveaway, she's a bit silly.
I think your friend means let's not talk about that anymore. It's quite all right. I'm not as interested in the goings-ons of such things. I'm actually much more interested in this tree. Now, I will find out and I will get back to you.
Sure.
Now,
I'll
young
keep it-
man, what do you need? What can I get you, my friend?
I was just looking to see if I could purchase some spell scrolls from you, friend.
Ah, well, we have quite a many. What would you be looking for?
I'm looking for Glyph of Warding.
Glyph of Warding. Well, yes, we should. Let me check the back. I think we might have some of those.
That would be wonderful.
And he disappears for a few moments, and you can hear rummaging going on
And
back
I'm-
there.
And I just sort of look over at EnnaZora and like chuckle, like shaking my head while he's gone.
I'm picturing like a screw flying out and then like an old shoehorn and like dust and clouds.
He's
and,
like digging and stuff.
It's actually like it's a pretty refined store. I mean, as far as what the kind of gamut of arcane shops, this is definitely on the higher end.
Naturally, we're in Borda, the city of gold.
That's right. Oh, I found it!
Well,
Any
while
com-
you're back there, I did have a couple of others.
Oh, okay. What is it you need, my friend?
Yes, well, there's a few, and if you have them, great. There's a spell that can see those invisible and into the ethereal plane, see invisibility.
Yes, absolutely. What else do you need before I go rummaging about?
So let's see that, and how about blindness and deafness?
I am pretty sure I don't have that one at the moment. I can create one for you, but it will take some time.
Oh, that's all right. Don't worry about it.
But I'll double check. I'll be right back. And off he goes back to the back. A little bit more rummaging. Ah, yes, I've got that one as well.
Ah, lovely.
Now, let's see. Glyph of Warding. See invisibility. Yes, costs now. Let me look at my chart. These are
Oh,
not...
look at your chart. I'm sure we can work out something.
Oh, of course, my friend. That's what I'm here for. No, I love to sell these scrolls and help others.
Ah, yes.
Let's see. I can let these go for 250 gold each.
All right. Well, let's see. How about an even 700 and we call it good? I've got just the perfect sum here.
Ah, well, I only have the 2, not the 3, so that would be
Oh,
500.
sorry.
If you want to give me 700, though, my friend, I'll take it. I'll take it.
I thought you just said you had that one too. Did you
No, sorry, no, I don't have that one. I was just finding the sea invisibility, which I wasn't sure I had, but I did.
So sorry, you have the glyph of warding and see invisibility. That's it.
Oh, I do. But 700 sounds like a fair price.
Well, how about we call it 400 since you were just terribly unclear, and it'll just make my headache go away knowing that.
Well, how about we charge an extra 50 for your rudeness? I'll do 450. I think that's fair.
All right, fair enough.
Okay.
So yeah, I
Okay, you can add those 2 scrolls to your inventory.
okay.
Is there anything else you need?
No, that'll be all. Have a great day.
All right. And I'm sorry, Miss, is it Miss? Maybe Sir? I'm not sure you've got that on your face.
I don't know about
What? It matters not. I just want to make sure I don't offend. But what is your name? I want to be able to address you properly when I find you again.
And I'll look to Otto, like, should I say my name? Or not?
Or a Super K, whatever you want. Just what can I find you as?
Oh, by all means. Why don't? What's a good time? We can just come back by.
I don't know. I've got to go research. This is a mystery. I
Well,
don't know
take
how
your
long.
time. You'll see us again, and hopefully
yeah.
you'll have answers.
Okay.
Privacy is, important during these trying times.
I see. Well, very well, very well. Sure, Sval will tell me if I care, but I'm actually more interested in the tree. So you stay safe and come and see me again, and I'll see what I can find out.
Very well then. Ta-ta.
And I am not leaving it with him.
No, he put it back in your hand.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you two are done. Now, Seville and Tabitha.
Yeah.
You guys make your way back to the tavern, the Wet and Whistle, and you give a nod to the barkeep, who, it's pretty empty this time, unlike the last time. Just cleaning up. You can see there's a few broken chairs. There's some debris from the festivities of the night before. You even see a little bit of blood on the floor. Nothing major. Just a good rowdy night in the kind of the rough tavern of town. And you give that nod. He gives you a nod back. You make your way to the back, and you remember how to
The barrel.
exactly activate the barrel, and it unlocks and opens up, and you see the spiral staircase.
Ooh.
Yes, and Tabitha, this is your first time seeing this, and it's really amazing. It's almost like a clockwork sort of construction where he unfastens it, and it kind of clinks out and opens up, and there's this hidden spiral staircase in the floor.
Okay, this feels very exclusive.
Yeah, so follow me. I'll vouch for you, but don't say anything until we're in there. Hopefully they'll let you in. So we're going to walk down the stairs and go to that door,
Yep.
Okay.
and I'm going to knock.
As you go to knock, you notice that it's slightly open.
I'm going to draw out my rapier
Okay.
and my dagger.
Mhm.
And Tabitha, arm yourself, and I'm going to slide it open.
I'm pulling out my rapier and then my new cool dagger.
Oh, okay. Seville does a
Rub it
little
in.
double
Rub
take
it
on
in.
it.
I just looked and I just...
And I do like a little twirl and I'm like, sorry, Toots.
we walk in.
Okay.
I mean, I'm paying attention to see who might be
Slow
there. So-
as you slowly push the door open,
Mhm.
and this door makes no sound. It just
Mhm.
opens up. You see immediately, because it's a small room.
Yeah.
It looks ransacked, and as the door opens wider, you see 2 bodies on the floor, pools of blood around them.
I'm going to go immediately check on them.
Okay, you rush over. You don't have to roll. It's clear that they're quite dead, and they've been dead for a while. Their bodies are cold.
Ew.
You
Any
recognize them.
footprints? Yeah. Do I know them?
You recognize them
From
as the
the-
cutters that you saw before. Yeah, do an investigation check.
All right.
Seville, where have you brought me? This is awful.
I know. 14.
Yeah, so you look around. Again, this place is completely torn over. There were chests that, excuse me, that are broken open. There are shelves, things have been pulled off on the floor, and there are definitely lots of footprints, but there we go again. Nothing that looks obvious.
Okay. Tabitha,
Okay.
I don't know what happened here. How were they killed? Throat slit, punctured?
Multiple,
notice anything?
looks like multiple stab wounds.
And there's nothing left
They've
in
been
this.
pulled up.
Yeah.
Look at these bodies.
I don't know who did this. There's no marks, no nothing. If there's nothing else in the room, I'm going to make my way out. Is there anything left in here?
With that investigation roll, you find a couple little ball bearings in the corner.
All right.
And as you
And
kind of, sorry.
I want to also take a look at just like kind of going through maybe like the lower parts of the room that he's
Sure, roll an investigation check for me.
and also checking, you know, pockets of unfortunately dead people just to
Okay.
see if they had any money on them.
We'll include it in this roll. Natural 20.
I got a 20.
Ah!
Yeah.
This is my first roll of the game.
I need to go and
too.
confirm that. I'm going to
You're
confirm
welcome to.
that.
You are welcome to.
So that's awesome. Okay, yes. So
Yeah.
It's like D&D 3.0 or 3.5 when you had to confirm your crits or some terrible madness like that.
Oh really? Oh wow.
There was like a mechanic that made you do it. Yeah, it was the worst.
Oh, that's crazy. So yeah, Tabitha, you're leaning down next to Seville, looking at these bodies, and you kind of respectfully like start patting down the body, and you do find one. They've got like a small sack of coin on them still, and you can feel it's not large. It's probably like around 20 or so, is what you would guess.
We wouldn't want this to go to waste.
Oh my god. You're the worst.
Their weapons are still there on the ground. You see a rapier and you see a couple daggers. They're near the bodies. You find on the second body, there are, in addition to the obvious kind of stab wounds, there are little round holes where the edges are burning through the clothes and the armor.
Seville, look at this.
What do you
And-
find?
All burn marks around them. What is that?
Is this magic? Do they look?
Yeah, they look like something went in and burned a very small hole, about finger sized, and there are a couple of them on the second body.
I don't know. This some kind of magic. I don't know. We got to get these. Jeez.
Can
God.
I
And
rip off the shirt, a piece of the shirts where you can kind of see what the holes, what size they are, and the burn mark on it?
Yep. So,
So I'm
as
gonna
you
take that as like a clue.
okay,
That's
yeah.
smart.
And as you're shifting the body to do that, you notice that the second body, the one with those burn marks in it, over by the finger, you see an A, U, and it looks like maybe AUL or something that the person with their blood was starting to spell out.
Seville,
Really
look, there's a message in blood down here. A-U-L, I don't...
A-U-L.
Is it the beginning of a... Like a
Can't tell if the
W?
last one's an L. It looks like there's might have started to do another letter, but expired.
Do I think does it look like an A-U-K?
Yeah, now that you look at it, it could definitely be the beginning of a K.
All right, Tabitha, you remember when I said I wanted to have a meeting with the Akira? That's the
Yeah.
fourth. It looks like maybe he was trying to spell this out before he expired.
Yeah.
Sval,
Okay.
not Sval, yeah, Sval said she'd get me a meet. It was part of the deal going into that house, Smatrel's house, that she'd get me a sit down with these guys. This could have been a hit, but I don't know why the Akira would come in here and hit the edge guard or even know about it. This is odd, very odd.
Definitely. I'm getting the feeling that we shouldn't be in here for much longer.
No, I think you're
And
right.
also, we should ask the bartender if they know anything on the way out.
That's my sentiments exactly. Let's go. Let's do it.
Okay, so you guys make your way out again, closing the barrel as you exit, and you see it snap into place. And you go around the corner, and you see it's a large man. It's different than the one you saw before, but it's a large human. He's got really like bushy eyebrows and silver hair, and a bit pudgy, and just wiping the bar down, cleaning glassware, getting things set up for the day.
So
Where's
quietly talking to him.
Yeah.
This is a different bartender. I think we should just go. This could be someone in disguise. Look at those eyebrows. Reminds me of the work you did on EnnaZora.
I know. Let me just ask where the bartender had went to.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Hi.
Where was the bartender here? Where'd he go off to?
This is my shift. He'll be back tonight. Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about the person we just said hello to walking in.
No, that's the same one. I meant yeah. Sorry,
okay.
he's not the one you remembered from last time.
Oh,
Okay, but it's the same guy as who came in.
Same guy.
Same guy as when you came
Got
in.
it.
Yeah.
Were you on last night?
No. I'd requested off. Have some fun, you know. Although I was here for a bit.
Anybody come in this morning early?
This morning? No. I mean, I wasn't here. I don't know what time they shut down, but probably, I don't know. Probably right before sunrise. Kicked the last of them out. It was a big crowd last night.
Yeah. I bet it was. All right. Well, thanks.
Of course, anytime.
And we're gonna head out of here.
Okay. All right. And what are you guys doing?
Right now, that guy knows what I'm doing, right? He knows I'm Edge.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly what you perceived, since you gave him the nod. He didn't stop you walking into the back room.
All right, I'm gonna go back to him because I don't want to be implicated in this. If he thinks we went down there, did that, and left. So I'm just gonna say there's a couple of bodies down there, murdered.
Down there?
Yeah.
When?
That's what I'm asking. Just pool of blood.
I'll talk to the others.
Yeah, everything in the stores are hit. There's nothing down there. You're gonna want to clean that up and, well,
we're not supposed to go down there. Yeah.
Well, if you find your connections, just let them know
We'll do.
that this place is closed.
And he's just looks like he's in a bit of shock. Like he doesn't quite sure what to do. We'll keep. We'll let the Crown's Guard know.
Right. So we'll take
Careful.
off, and as we're walking out, that was interesting. And I hand Tabitha one of the ball bearings.
Huh. Do I notice anything about the ball bearings? They look unusual.
Yeah.
Go ahead, and you can ask. Why don't you ask Seville? I mean, it doesn't look that different than the normal ball bearings. It's a little bit larger than the ones that you have.
Wait, tell me what did we decide? What's this?
Oh, you remember?
I'm flip vegan. Yeah. Look, when you toss this on the ground,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it'll explode into a web.
exactly. It's a restraining.
A web?
So it's sort of like if you've ever seen a wizard cast, or someone casts, or even a spider. It's a large web. It's a containment to give you some extra time to escape or to catch someone. As soon as you slam the ground with that, the web comes out and traps someone. So
this one
You
hasn't
wanted
been used yet.
no, they haven't. And I would not mistake this one for your stash. So
Okay.
put it
So
somewhere.
I want to put this one in like my if I have like an upper pocket.
Okay.
Very different than the lower pouch where I keep my normal ball bearings.
And they are a little bit larger, so if you had two in your hand, you'd be able to discern which one is which.
Yeah, and there should be a little bit of marking in case you're that as well. So, but yeah, keep it separate so you can get to it quickly, and it'll get you out of a pinch or us out of a pinch. So there you go.
Okay.
There's your
Thank
first
you.
edge guard weaponry for you.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Okay.
I want to go to the arcane shop.
Oh, perhaps we'll meet up with the others.
Yeah, let's see what they're doing.
Okay.
I'd say about the timing of it now, as you make your way over, you see Otto and EnnaZora and her outfit coming out of the store talking amongst themselves.
And I just give them a nod because I know that Otto and Seville don't want to be seen together. And then I'm going to head into the shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll open the door for Tabby after you.
Thank you.
I just sort of in passing call out to them, we'll be back at the, and head back toward where we were staying.
Okay.
I'll send a message into Otto's mind. Gotcha.
All right, so you guys make your way into this shop, and you're now looking around, and you see it is extremely well stocked, and it's definitely an upper scale arcane shop. And you see the large gentleman turn around, big smile. Well, this is a busy morning. Hello, my friends.
Morning to
Hello,
you.
good morning.
See, someone was partying last night with the festivities.
Just a bit.
Fantastic festival. We had a lot of fun walking the streets. It was a good time.
Oh, it
A rowdy
always
time.
is. Always is. What can I do for you today?
Well, just might be in the mood for a weapon, or perhaps an enchantment on something. I don't know if you do enchantments.
Oh, I do. It takes some time, but I can do it.
Okay. Any same day delivery, so to speak, enchantments?
I've known to do it in the past, but today's a bit tricky. I'm being called back over to the circle later, so I probably won't have time to get it done today. But I'd say in a couple days I could have it ready for you. Of course, it all depends on the difficulty of the enchantment you're looking for as well.
Sure. Well, that aside from an enchantment, is there any, perhaps, what are the weapons you're selling, and what do they do there? Any rapier, dagger?
Oh, yeah. I've got a couple. On the rapier front, I've got your basic enchanted rapiers. Nothing supremely amazing, unfortunately. I had a couple, but they were cleared out a couple months ago. But they're all quite fine make, and they are enchanted. So they do a bit more damage, and they'll hold their blade indefinitely, really. Would you like to see one? You can see we have several different styles up here on the wall.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I'll see that. It's a fine handguard on that one, a little darker metal.
Good taste. And he reaches up and he takes this down, and this has unusual styling. At first you think it might be elvish, but when it comes down, you, Seville, know that it's a dwarven make, and the dwarven style of an acroly is kind of a cross between the rough, kind of strong dwarven, bold designs with a bit more of the elegance with filigrees and kind of flowing shapes. And this rapier has a beautiful dark metal pommel and guard.
Do you mind if I put
No.
it through a few maneuvers?
No, I'll just take a few steps back if you wouldn't mind, my friend.
So I work it out a little bit, feeling the balance, the pommel, putting it on the hand, flipping it over, and doing some maneuvers. Very nice. I like it. So you said this is a Vorpal weapon?
Oh, I wish, my friend. I wish.
Oh, yes.
I've had them in the past, but
Have you really? How to warp a
Oh.
weapon.
Yeah, not for me personally, but it has passed through the store. Usually these are gifts that I'm asked to either identify or, enchant or do some other bit of magic on them for others. I mean, you are in Vorden, my friend.
There, yeah. I'm starting to realize that. So, what are you asking for here on this fine weapon?
Let me see. Let me see if I can pull up my rapier.
And I'm just kind of wandering around the store, checking stuff out in the background.
Okay.
Oh.
I think we know what that means.
Oh, okay. All right.
Holy cow.
Doing stuff in the background.
Do it. Don't do it. Do it.
Checking
Don't do
stuff
it.
out.
Do it. Don't do it.
Oh
Do
my
it.
gosh. Okay. All right. So that one, hold on, let me check my register here. Looks like I can let that one go for 700.
700, eh? Well, I just came into. Well, I won a bet, so I have a little extra coin in me purse here.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I like the dice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's see here, and I'm going over this.
And while you're doing that, Tabitha, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I am just looking at anything that's at my eye level.
So there are several daggers laid out that are on the opposite side of where Seville is.
Okay.
And they're definitely, they're a little high for you because they're more built for human scale.
Mm-hmm.
But so they're almost eye level for you.
Okay.
And then there are, as I said before, there's paper, there's scrolls, there's special inks. There's some various non-expensive spell components.
Okay, is there anything that I get the sense that I could swipe discreetly?
Certainly a lot of the kind of inexpensive spell components, you could probably take a handful, no problem. They probably don't look that interesting to you as a non-caster. The blades definitely draw your attention.
Yeah. Okay, so I am going to, while at the peak moment of distraction here, I am going to swap out my regular dagger for one of the magic ones, whichever one looks the closest.
Okay.
Using my fast hands here. It's just a really quick swap.
Okay.
And I'm trying to time it, ideally, I would like to time it right towards the end of their transaction so we can just get out of there.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead? Why don't you go ahead and roll sleight of hand for that?
Okay. That is a 12. And
I'm trying to remember
sleight of hand is +5.
Okay.
So that's 17.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we'll come back to you. So.
Okay.
So can I get this one for you, or can I show you something else?
You have anything with a bit more power than this, or?
Not right now, but I can enchant it if you like this one. I can spend a little extra time on it, but like I said, it will probably take a couple days.
No, that's all right. And this one is enchanted, you said?
Yeah,
It's got a bit of magic in it?
Yeah, it's
All
good.
right.
It is imbued. It will not lose its edge. It will not corrode. If anyone casts a detect magic or senses the arcane about, it will glow to them.
All right. And you said this just gives me an edge to hit something.
Exactly. It does a little bit of extra damage.
Extra damage and a little easier to strike with, you're saying?
Yeah, sharper edge. It tends to hit a little bit more.
Yeah. All right. Now, you throwing any discounts for? Can I go in? No discounts for anything?
Well, it depends. What are you trying to discount with?
Well, I'm just taking a trip down here, and I go into his mind. I just wanted to know if there was anything you do for those folk up in Carthen.
You see a big smile, big, beautiful white teeth. Well, now, my friend, I appreciate your service. I can take that price down to, I could do 500 for it. I'll do 400 for it.
Well, I'm not going to argue with that, and I appreciate it.
I appreciate what you do out there.
Well, thanks. And if you would keep it between you and I.
Well, I'll do one favor. If you'll tell your friend to put that dagger back.
Wait, what?
Oh, she's just trying to take a dagger back there. It's not a, we always watch the halflings when they come in.
So I start laughing, and I said, Tabitha, I told you. Don't worry about that. She owes me 50 gold now.
It's fine. It's fine. I'll give you a good deal on one if you'd like.
We often have this game, seeing if she can take things under people's noses, but
I mean,
you're
it's
sharp,
just,
and I appreciate it. But
it's
no
just a dagger. I'm not that worried about
I'll buy it. I have plenty of gold. It's just more fun to take things.
Well, those are just regular daggers. I'm afraid I don't have any enchanted daggers at the moment.
Great. Well, I'll be
And it looks like
keeping
you,
my eye on the dagger.
it looks like you're set. Unless you like the design better.
Do I like the design better? Is it cooler?
I mean, they're beautiful. Definitely the stuff that he has here, and the daggers look like they might be designed almost for more show. They're a little bit flashier, so there's.
Okay, well then
there's
I
one...
have to get one because that's my taste.
Yeah, well then the most beautiful of the lot has this beautiful silver pommel with a spiraling silver wrap and this cherry wood inlay in the handle, and it's beautifully polished.
How much for this one?
Well, are you giving me one of yours that you were attempting there, or do you want a straight purchase?
You can take this one. Pointing at my one that's like just my normal dagger.
Yeah, just normal dagger. I always like to tinker with things. I could give you, I mean, it's this one. I could do that one with the discount from your friend. I could do that one for 100.
Okay, 40.
Oh, let's see. Tries to steal it and is bargaining me down. Well, okay, I'll tell you what. I like your spunk.
Thank you.
75, that's it. You can have it. It's a beautiful dagger.
75. We'll take it.
Okay. And he takes your dagger and he just hands you this beautiful, and the scabbard as well, which is also that same cherry wood.
What is a scabbard?
That's what it slides into.
Oh.
So you don't cut yourself.
The terms.
I know some.
New stuff. Okay.
All right.
And, thank you. And I'll give you
No
400
problem.
gold.
All right, thank you. Well, you can put +1 rapier in your inventory.
Nice.
All right.
All right, minus 400.
All right, you two be safe out there. All right, my friends. Come back and see me soon.
You do the surname. What's your name, sir?
Oh, Gillian.
Gillian. And what's the name of your shop here?
Oh, this is, it's Gillian's. You didn't see the sign on the outside?
Sorry, just people were coming out and...
Oh, no, it's fine. Gillian's Shop of Arcane Wonders.
Well, aptly named, sir. Aptly named.
Thank you, thank you. All right. You guys make your way out of the shop, and Otto and EnnaZora, did you guys go back to the house?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys come in, and Arisette is there, I imagine, pacing frantically. And Seville and Tabitha, are you doing anything else?
Are there any pizza shops? No, we're headed back. We're headed
Okay.
back. We're headed back.
Yeah, are we passing by, just if we pass by a jeweler on the normal route? That's the only thing
let's see.
I want to know about.
There's definitely a jeweler in town, but let me see. Nope, the jeweler's on the other side of town. There's a map. I literally have a map.
So
So
I
after-
just kind of rub my forehead. I'm like, Tabitha, you got to try not to do that when I'm around. I'm technically supposed to stop you. So
Okay, but
You
I'm
know.
technically supposed to be having fun.
No, I understand, but if I wasn't there, he could have technically thrown you in jail.
No, I would have just offered to pay for it and
Well,
told him that he needed to up his security.
all right. Aye, lass.
Let's head back.
Headed back.
All
Headed
right.
back.
So you guys are all back at the spa house again.
All right. Is there any sign of our other equipment, like the furs and the warm weather clothing and the potions, being back?
Yeah, so Arisette saw Elas come back, and she's got the heavy furs, no minks, and some heavy boots and gloves and other cold weather gear. No potions of cold resistance she was able to find. With the rope, definitely. And hold on, let's see if the other stuff.
EnnaZora, I could barely recognize you in that wonderful disguise.
Oh my god, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm like peeling my disguise back off.
And the healer's kits are all there.
Yes. All right. I'll collect the disguises unless EnnaZora wants to keep wearing hers.
Oh, I do.
Okay, I thought so.
Called it.
We'll call it a gift. Probably the thing, I think prestidigitation lasts for, I think, an hour, so it might be.
Yeah, you're on the outside edge of that, I think.
Yeah,
Oh, I can
so
keep it as long as I can.
I'll make a new one. Same color on the butterfly. Right, so
Blue.
I do a blue butterfly on her nose now,
Awesome.
and I collect the things that. Whoa, we had an interesting go there. How about you? What'd you guys
Oh, I
come
got
with?
Simple enough.
it all.
And I just kind of start going like this, and maybe go down to my rape. Oh, what is this? Oh, what is that there?
Ah, new blade.
Yeah, so I take it out. I know Otto appreciates a fine rapier, and I hand it to the man.
Ah,
Give that a
This is
look
an-
there.
this is imbued with spellcraft. A blade like this, a magical blade, it needs a name.
Speaking of a name, if we're gonna just do one quest, should we
Yes.
travel? Should we be the one questers? Of course not, but think about it. Maybe we do need a name.
Okay.
I've long thought we need a name, but your sword
Yes.
should have a name as well.
And I'm like doing a yawn with both my daggers in my hand.
Yes.
Oh,
How about I had
Yes,
an
we
interesting-
all have new things. That's to be expected. We went to get new things. Surprise, surprise.
Yes. On that name, I think I'll think about it. That's unless you got some names, we'll talk about it.
Oh, well, yes, if something comes to mind. But I wonder if now we are ready to go into the sewers.
Let's have a quick discussion with Sval. When we just went down to, well, you remember the place where I go? It's a bit of an Edgeguard secret. Well, we call them cutters, and they have resupplies for us in different cities where we could restock.
was a
The
tragic
cutters were
scene.
murdered. It was a bloodbath down there.
You just saw a murder scene.
We saw a murder scene. Aye.
Oh,
And
There's two men, and I brought back this scrap from one of their shirts. There was
Yes.
some unusual wounds. Look at this.
what do you make of that, Otto?
I mean, I'll take a look at it, see if I make any sense of it.
Yeah, roll an Arcana check.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll look at it as well.
Okay.
Let me see what I got here for Arcana.
That way.
Oh yeah, both and EnnaZora too. Well, where's Arisette?
She's
I'm
right here
watching
watching
all
you.
In
she's here.
continued disbelief.
And EnnaZora, it was so sad that next to the one of the men there was a message starting to be written out in blood. It was
Quite grim.
very
Yeah.
grim.
I got a 23.
Well, what was the message, Tabitha?
It was an A W.
U?
What was it? UK, but
I-
or L. We don't know.
Am I the
I
only
think-
one in the chat in the dice roller thing?
That's fine.
I think so.
Yeah.
I went back to physical because I like my dice.
Fair play. Yeah, I got a 19 plus 4, 23.
Yeah, so you definitely have heard of this magic attack, which is essentially magic missiles, and you know that these small magic projectiles were fired at this individual. So whoever attacked him was definitely a magic user.
Magic user, a common sorcery, magic missile, often the very first taught to dabblers, wizard trainees and acolytes. Someone who knew magic is responsible.
Not just someone who knew magic, but somebody who could pose as an edge guard. They don't
Well,
allow
how to
access
get
to
into
that.
the secret hideout. You guys should have
Yeah.
seen it.
It
It
was
was like
on
this
the edge
stairway.
guard. Died.
They're not edge guards, but they serve the edge guard.
Is there any way someone with magical ability could have found their way in? They could have, by all means, impersonated even you if they knew magic such as your own, or gone invisible, or perhaps even found a way through that.
To
Well,
evaporate into a
supernatural.
mist and then reappear on the other side.
You know, actually, yes, something like
They
that.
have to be identified by their tattoo,
You know
by a
what?
psychic tattoo to have it even the door open.
a psychic tattoo.
Really
So it
know
means
Yeah.
there's
what it is.
a traitor. It must be a traitor among you.
Isn't that
There's
always
a traitor in the edge guard.
What'd you say, EnnaZora?
motive? What's the motive?
Wow.
And
How
Seville,
much
you,
sadism is
Seville,
the
you
only
know,
thing-
you know that if there were only cutters in the room, they wouldn't really be able to identify a true edge guard.
I thought that was how they let me in the first time, or they brought me in, or
That was something you revealed to another edge guard,
Hmm.
not to the cutters.
I see.
okay.
So
It
is
wasn't
possible-
necessarily edge.
So it's possible they could have just said I'm edge and they opened the door.
It's possible.
Possible.
Wow, that's
All
a
right.
really high security system.
I mean,
I'm in the FBI, so just open it for me.
Yeah,
you
I
know
don't know
that
how they would have
they're
done it.
still highly trained, so you think it's extremely unlikely that that's what happened.
No. I don't
But-
know how they could have done it, but listen, those words, the AU, and it looked like an L or a K. I'm thinking it's a K. I had asked Sval to get me a sit down with the Alkera, the last thieving guild, where a mole, the ones who sold you and Tabby into to the necromancer, she's murdering all of them, all the leaders. And-
Can I ask,
Yeah.
the Olkera, that
Yeah.
when because I remember we've crossed paths with the
Falir.
Falir. When did they come into play?
We have not had any contact with them. We've only had contact with the Sumrock, the Falir. The third one is the Malumenar, whose leader was killed. That was the interrogation down in the sewers. This is what we got from that man, and the only leader that hasn't been killed yet is the leader of the Akira. But if they're either framing the Akira or they've already killed, that's why I want to have a sit down with one of the Akira.
And at that moment, you hear the front door slam, and you look up and you see Elas, and she runs up to you. Okay, so I got everything I could. We don't really have anything else to give. Message
Okay.
from Sval that it's really time for you to leave the city now. And Smatrel might be headed over in this direction fairly soon with some guards. So if you'd all get your things, and we're going to exit out the back. We have a secret exit, and let's move really quickly.
Here we go now.
You know,
Alright.
Tell
Quick,
Sval-
quickly, no time. No
She
time.
has
Things
the
have
tone
changed.
of a person who's panicking and trying not to panic, guys. I think we
So
should get
I think
moving.
we should listen to her. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna follow.
All right, so you
Things
guys.
have changed a lot since you'll be safe here.
Yes, they have. They have. There's more. I can't tell you all about it right now. I'm under orders to get you out, get you safely out of the city. So if you follow me, and she starts leading you back down the stone steps down into the spa, and she takes you into the far corner, which has a bit of a wall that kind of hides, and you see her adjust a piece of the wall, and it. And you see the outside kind of back alleyway area between the houses.
And we have all our gear, right?
You have all your stuff now.
All right.
All right. As I said, I think the best way to go would probably be South Gate. The people that are heading over to the house are coming from the north, so if you will just follow that line straight there, you can see the edge of the gate right there. You'll be able to leave with no
And
problems.
Judd, question. How
Yes.
far are we from the sewer entrance where we're thinking about going?
There are sewers entrances all over. Do a perception check for me.
She
Okay.
said that they can teleport us back here from there, right?
You said, yeah, she said that there's a teleportation circle in their wizard's tower.
I got 15.
Teleport us there instead of us going into the sewer?
Are you asking her this?
Yeah.
Where are you going? Where did you make a decision where you're going?
We're going to the Dulgara Mountains, aren't we?
Lugnor, right?
To
Lugnor.
Lugnor.
Yes.
We don't have a teleportation circle to Lugnor, just to Asley. However, I am afraid it would be difficult to get you to the center of town, as that's the direction that they're coming from right now. But Otto, you see right now that about 80 feet away, where the cobbled alleyway between these houses, you do see a sewer entrance.
Do I remember from being in the sewers before that they're very vast and maze-like and trapped though and hard to maneuver? That's kind of what I remember.
You remember the first level is looked like it would go on a bit, but is not very maze-like. You saw multiple entrances coming down from the street below or street above.
So I point over to the entrance and I say, if you want and we're all ready, we can make for the sewers there, find our way. But it'll be maneuvering the sewers. It's up to you all.
No.
Then
I
how
think
will
we
we
have-
get there?
Don't we run for it? Can't we run for it?
Where are you trying?
follow us.
Where are you trying to get? I might be able to help you.
We
We
had just
You know where the
Down
where
into
the
the
prison
sewers.
is, the jail. Remember where they hold people? The
Yes,
cells.
yes.
There's a
Yes.
sewer entrance right around there, next to
The sewer. Are you? Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, there are sewer entrances all over.
There's one
the-
right there. We can just go in if you want, but
We're not far from the middle of town, which is where the Crown's Guard station is where the jails are. If you go down, if you're trying to get down to the sewers, I suggest whatever you do, you probably need to pick a course of action quickly.
Let's go down.
and
Go
not
to the sewers
stand
now.
talking.
The Crown's
great,
Guard's going to be
great,
looking for people.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you for your help. We appreciate it.
No problem. I will stall them as fast as I can, or as long as I can, at the front door to give you time to get away.
what?
As slow as
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
that's true.
As I'll stall as long as I can. Yes. Sorry.
Do you have any last words of advice for us?
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Run.
Right.
And
Okay.
you see,
Yeah.
and the door
Fly, you
shuts.
fools.
And as you all make your way through this alleyway, you do see a little angry halfling surrounded by some guards that a couple of them look familiar as they pass between the buildings out on the main street. And you manage to lift up the manhole cover and slip down into the sewers. And as you pull that heavy cover closed behind you, descending once more into the sewers, we're gonna leave it there for the night.
All right.
Ah.
It's about to get stinky again.
It's about to get
Again, I
stanky.
Wow.
Well, at least I
Okay.
had a nice spa day before going down into that pit.
There you
Well-
go. You smell lovely.
Stay out of the
Yeah.
sewage this time.
There's something alive down here.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Special thank you to all of our fans that come every week. We love you all.
Yeah.
Please stay safe out there. Self-quarantine so we can get through this mess. Let's be responsible. Let's look out for each other. Mike and Jamie, always much love and thank you for managing things behind the scenes. Love you guys, and thanks for letting us make your Mondays a hell of a lot better. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.
Bye, everyone.
See you guys. Be safe.
Bye.